you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey. Welcome, everybody, to a Wednesday edition of the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, is here. K-Dog is here. Still an asshole. And Poos is here. Being a good Poos. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. Thanks for including me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You feel included?
Yeah.
Your name's on the sign.
happy
Is
to
that
be
not
here.
enough?
I'm happy to be here.
It's on the sign. That's not
That's
enough.
Apparently not. He wants
It
it
is
first.
enough. I'm literally thankful for being included.
Of course.
Exciting day. Got a lot to get to today. We'll do that in a second. I got more details on my ride along.
Oh, man. You're
Dude,
getting fired up for
It's
this.
getting real. It's getting very real. I'm going to be on the mean streets on Friday. Criminals beware. I'm excited. I think I might be scaring my partner a little bit.
A little overzealous.
Perhaps.
You're writing him every day.
I wrote him today and asked him if I got my own cruiser.
Can you imagine?
And his response made it sound like I don't know if he knew if I was kidding or not. He just said, "Oh, dude, I'll be fucking so fired so fast if I let you sit at the driver's wheel." I was like, "Dude, I'm kidding. I don't expect my own cruiser, but I am going to bring my own revolver."
Yeah.
So-
Well, can he get you one of those gumdrop lights for the top of your car? You could
Oh,
just drive
that's
you like a Starsky and Hutch.
that's a good call. That's a
Yeah.
good call. He told me what time to get there. And I saw I'll be there. I'll be there
Was it
15
given
minutes
in-
early. You know.
Was it military time? 0800 hours?
Yeah, I got to be there at 12.
Oh,
Shit! I
What
can't.
time do you have to
military-
be there,
I
Mike?
have to be there at 2.
Okay.
so 14.
1400 hours.
1,400 hours. Yes, that's what I was going to
2
say.
plus
E.
12 is 14.
I have to be there at 1,400. Oh, 1,400.
No.
It's not 1400.
I have to be there at 1,400. And apparently he's got a rookie he's got to train for a little bit. And I was like, well, if you need a hand breaking the new guy in,
Yeah.
just let me know. I'll be there early and we could work this guy over a little bit.
Show him the ropes, as it were.
Yeah, I said if there's an FNG we need to break in, just let me know. I'll be there. Just get back to me on that one. So we'll see. They're excited though to go on this ride along. It sounds like we're gonna actually do some work. So I don't know what that means exactly.
Nice.
But I can't wait to get my bulletproof vest on. I got to be honest with you. And he swears I will not get a sticker badge.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was worried about it. I really was, Jay. That was keeping me awake at night. I mean, to think
Keeping him awake.
What
at
kind
night.
of perp would respect you
Oh.
at all?
criminals wouldn't respect me, my fellow brothers, my
Walking
fellow
up there with
Leos.
a "Hello, my name is" badge.
Oh, dude, can you imagine the utter shame and embarrassment the first time I go to Club a Perp and I'm wearing a sticker badge?
Hello, my name is Officer Walters. OFC Walters.
Yeah, that would not have worked at all. And my fellow Leos, walking around, that'd be the butt of jokes.
Yeah.
I can't have that. So
Well, you better take the boob inspector badge just in case. they
Just
don't
in
have one
case,
for
yeah.
you.
at least it's metal, right?
Right.
It's a good start.
It's shiny.
Yeah. So more details to come. Again, that's going to be Friday. So if you're on the streets
Awesome.
Friday,
Mind your P's and Q's.
I don't take any guff from anyone.
Do not even look sideways at him,
Nope.
or he'll light your ass up.
Yep. I'm very trigger happy. Got a bad attitude. On your knees, you sons of bitches! I will end you where you stand! Sorry, ladies. Sorry, ladies, as you were.
ladies.
That one's on me. That's my bad. That one's on me.
You just-
Carry on.
Are we to assume you just gunned down a bunch of females?
Well, they had bags. I didn't know what was in their bags. They were crossing the street. It looked like maybe perhaps some perps were jaywalking. Wasn't sure. You can't be too certain these days.
In reality, he's going to be scared shitless.
I
You
know.
watch,
Like, what are you going to
he's
really
going to
do
be
with you?
shivering in the back seat.
Ah!
Yeah,
I mean, what's going to happen if he really has to arrest somebody or
that
something?
noise will come out of his mouth. Isn't it?
I'll be like throwing my handcuffs at people. Put these on yourself. Ah! No. Let me out of the car. Let me out of the car.
And no.
No. Slow down. Just let him go.
That's more like it.
He's doing 45 in a 25, and I'm going, ah! There could be young children out here. Slow down. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully I man up. I don't know. I don't know if which officer will show up.
It's the
but
day of reckoning. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friday.
Anyway, dare I say a big show today. We got a lot to get to. When was the last time you heard of an atomic wedgie, Jay? Has it been a while?
Yeah, high school. I don't know.
I mean, you probably had those, once, twice a day for 4 years?
Did you ever get a swirly?
No, I never got any of that.
Oh,
God,
we
his
gotta-
hair would be perfect for it,
Oh, we
wouldn't
got to
it?
do that. We got to show him that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wanna
in the
do it
next
right
couple
now?
days. Yeah, we can do it real quick.
Take a quick
No,
break.
We don't need to.
I think the rules of that are we don't even need to ask. I think we can just do
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think a lot of people that gave swirlies were like, "Hey, do you care if we give you a swirly right now?"
Yeah, Jay, that was a dumb
Yeah,
question.
it's not typically by appointment.
The atomic wedgie, I do remember that being discussed at points. We've all seen the wedgie.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I've seen wedgies with busted underwear, what do you call it, waistbands.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen it over the head.
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
Well, it is.
Oh, it is. We'll get into that later. We got a crooked cop, truly a man after Officer Walter's own heart.
It's a cool story, actually.
Yeah, in New York from years ago. Who's they've got a new movie coming out on this cat, and I got to tell you, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his work.
Perfect timing when confidence in cops is at an all-time low. Let's
Right.
put a movie like that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Employee GPS. Unfortunately, I know how Jay is going to feel about this, but
Can you guess?
yeah. So strap on. We're about to go to battle against Jay.
Fuck you, man! Fuck you, Jay.
We'll do that later on in the show so that tensions can remain
Big
calm.
corporate America.
Exactly.
Tiger Woods, new details about his unfortunate breakup with the very attractive Lindsey Vonn.
You're being facetious.
I
You
am
don't
a little
think
bit.
she's attractive.
She's okay,
She's
but
still ski. Is she even in the game?
yeah,
Still? Yeah.
I don't know if
Or she's always wrecking her knees. It seems like.
Yeah, that's true. She is training though out of the country in the Alps or something. But as far as like Olympian, I don't know if she's still.
That level.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Holiday travelers, things we all do when we go on holiday. Yeah, she's attractive, but when you think of Tiger Woods and some of the action he's gotten over the years, it just seemed like a weird hookup to me. But whatever, they're not together anymore. They broke up a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because they're hectic schedules. That's what they said. Jen.
Right,
Mhm.
hectic schedules. We'll get into details about that. Flight risks, the Bin Laden raid. Some people coming out against that story we did yesterday, saying it's total bullshit. Some other people maybe not so much saying that. We should probably get into Wisconsin, the news coming out of there.
Big news.
Another cop-related shooting and blah, blah, blah. Not a new cop-related shooting, but the whether or not to indict a cop was ruled on today.
Before we get going, we need to remind you of David Helm and Helm Law PC. Helm Law wants to let you know that in addition to divorce, they also handle criminal matters. Attorney David Helm started his practice at the Livingston County Prosecutor's Office and is now dedicated to making sure every person labeled defendant receives fair treatment. So whether you're leaving your kids in the car, mouthing off to a cop, or you have your hands full on a bus, Helm Law can help. Call them at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
And well, remember the guy Tony Robinson? He's 19 years old, biracial, was gunned down. He was unarmed, of course, so he falls into the unarmed teen category.
I feel like this story kind of like blew by us real quick, and we got onto something else.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is the kid who was screwing around like in the middle of the road and shit. There was a bunch of people reporting just erratic, crazy behavior.
Yeah, called 911. There were like 3 or 4 calls to 911 about him. Weaving in and out of traffic, jumping in and out of cars, they said. And some people were like, he wasn't jumping in and out of cars. He was jumping in between cars.
Betwixt.
So it wasn't like he was like carjacking people.
Yeah.
But he was also punching people. And one guy that called 911 got punched in the face. And so cops are called, as these always go. Cops don't just roam neighborhoods looking for dicks. They're called somewhere. So they get called to this scene. And unfortunately, it was a white cop that showed up. Bad recipe right off the bat. Officer Matt Kenny, and the door is cracked open where the people have seen this kid go, and apparently he didn't live there. I thought.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude.
And so he goes in there and he hears upstairs some commotion, things being like holes being punched in the wall, some shit being broken, and he hears what he thinks is a person screaming. And so he goes up there, gun drawn, and as soon as he turns the corner, Tony Robinson is there and cracks him in the face and knocks him down. He had a concussion, and he fucking lit the dude up, put 7 bullets in him. And all we heard from the family is he wouldn't hurt a fly, you know, the usual.
Sure.
He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Such a good kid.
And if you remember, and I might be a little shaky on the details, he pled guilty to armed robbery a year ago.
Right. Yeah, but he wasn't the one, I guess.
He had a gun on him, but it was like an air pistol.
Yeah, several of them had airsoft guns, and then one had a real gun or something like that.
Yeah, a shotgun. And so he was tied up in that ring, and he was on probation, and it was a felony charge. Now,
within months.
Yeah.
A couple months prior.
Yeah. And it was, he pled guilty to it, which is different than being found guilty. How does that work, Jay? It's different than if he went to court, he pled out for this thing. So it's not like he went to trial and was convicted of armed
Accepted
robbery.
a plea deal. So
yeah,
he pled guilty to a felony.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, not good.
I'll bet David Helm usually wouldn't recommend you do that.
Yeah, I would think not.
Young guy like that with a felony on his record, that's not good, Mike.
And the thing I keep hearing over and over, which always comes up in these cases, is people saying, hey, just because he's got something in his past doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. Just because he was guilty of a felony at some point, he was young, he's a child, that happens. Just because of that does not mean you murder him in cold blood. It's like, no, I think we can all agree that if you commit a felony, we've all done stupid shit in our lives. We've all been arrested or whatever at some point, and you don't expect to be murdered for that at some point down the road in your life. But it points to a track record. Is I think what the point of bringing that stuff up is, it points to a pattern of behavior that you can at least understand why in a scenario like that, it's like if you keep putting yourself in these positions where you're going to run into law enforcement, you might just have a shitty outcome with a police officer along the way.
Yeah, it does lend to maybe who this dude is, what he's really about.
Right.
So when you hear from family members, oh, he wouldn't hurt a fly. Well,
yeah,
let's look at the record.
Yeah.
I should note, though, like the rules of evidence typically bar prior bad acts. So had he been tried for something along these lines, had he not been killed, typically the prior, you wouldn't be able to bring in like, well, he's done this, this, and this in his past, because you want him fairly judged on the circumstances of the issue. Unless
it's repeat offenses.
Yeah, unless it's really like the same thing
over and over,
a very similar thing that shows like a pattern or motive. But yeah, that's beyond what you're talking about. You're just talking about like, hey, let's be practical here and look at who this dude is.
Right.
And certainly your past kind of lends to that. Sorry, but it does. I get it that he's a kid, but this was just months prior.
Yeah. I would think that if you looked at Jay, if you looked at you and all of a sudden someone said Jay was shot dead by a cop on the streets, I would think it would be equally relevant to go, look, Jay's a father of 3. He's an upstanding citizen. He's a lawyer. He's got no history of podcast hero. He's got, like, you would point to those things not as justification for an end result, but you could just go, here's the pattern of behavior.
The kind of dude he was.
Yes, here's the kind of guy he was. This doesn't add up. When unfortunately, when you see these cases time and time again, you go, it's not incomprehensible to go, well, yeah, I mean, it sucks. It's not right. It's too bad that a life was lost, but boy, oh boy, you keep playing with matches, to use a cliche.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect is going to happen? Well, unfortunately, what you expect is going to happen is that no matter what the truth is, you're going to have the outrage. And there were protests, and they didn't get to Baltimore's level or Ferguson level, but they had protests, and protests have already started immediately. The whole Black Lives Matter banner, marching down the streets, all of that shit is going on.
Isn't Wisconsin more chilled on this? I mean,
you would think
pretty damn white over there.
Yeah, but
I can't think of a whiter state, just perception wise. To me, Wisconsin,
Boston, Massachusetts,
right.
Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Wisconsin's up there.
It's for some reason, you know.
Yeah. No. There's no doubt. Wisconsin.
Maybe it's
is
their
up there.
basketball team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always think of them as white people.
Well, it was funny because this afternoon, when this when this story broke, I was watching their district attorney, who was going out and doing the usual, making the announcement of whether or not I'm going to bring charges against this officer.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a podium, and the national media is there, and they're covering this. And you've got a biracial, half black, half white prosecutor. Nice,
Refreshing Red Bull.
yep. And and you've got he's the first biracial or half black, whatever, prosecutor in Dane County and Wisconsin.
Uh-huh. See, they don't even have like fully black people there.
I know, right?
The perp is biracial, and so is the DA.
Right. So this DA is Ismail Ozain announced he's not going to file charges against Kennedy or Matt Kenney. And now the police department is receiving death threats and all types of threats.
Can't people look at the facts and go, all right, there's at least an argument that that people really looking at these facts could come to that conclusion?
Yeah. I mean,
Can't you do that?
You would think
It's not like the video we see where the one we watched it in. Where was that? That the guy's booking away and he just gets clobbered 8 times in the back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shit.
open and shut, right? South Carolina.
Yep.
It's not like that. This is if you read this narrative and you hear the reports, well, can't you think that maybe these people really dug into this and came to a reasonable conclusion?
And you know there's not going to be a stone unturned in something in this. They're not going to just overlook stuff or shove it under the rug because they know there's a whole community that is thinking that that's what they're going to do. And so
They're probably deferring the other way, to be honest. They're probably like looking at it like, okay, we're probably going to bring charges just so.
I would hope they would never do
I
that.
would hope not, but there's probably part of that in their mind. Like,
Yeah.
you know, looking broadly, liberally at it.
Yeah, I was watching the usual suspects who pop up to do, you know, the circuit. They'll get the white cop, and then they'll get the black prosecutor or whatever. And it's really discouraging to me. And I don't know why it is, but it seems unbelievable to me that you see a former district attorney, I think she was, prosecutor, like Sunny Hostin, who is paid for by CNN. She's an African-American woman, smart woman, and she's always got this no matter what the facts of the case. And that's, I think, what bothers me is in her position, she's now a paid legal consultant, so whatever. But in her legal profession, it's her job to be able to take emotion out of it, look at the facts of a case, and make a judgment. Fuck the color of the people involved. And every time I see her talk about these cases, it doesn't matter what the facts are. She's unable to see it from what an officer may be feeling or dealing with in that pressure cooker of a situation. Ever. It's not. I think it would lend more to credibility if just once she would go, yeah, you know what? I looked at the facts of this case, and I know the public doesn't want to hear it, but
of course, dude, it's kind of like that pre-cum lady we talked about yesterday.
Pregene. Yeah.
You know, if for once you'd see it the other way, you'd have more credibility, right?
Yeah, it would go a long way.
For sure.
So these people are coming out, not these people, but people in the community they've got threats to shoot and kill officers have been made. One such threat involves statements from gang members that they intend to riot immediately following the DA's announcement, and that threats to attack and kill the first cop seen have also been levied. Now, what's troublesome about this is everything that people have asked for. They want transparency. They want swift justice. They want they just want justice. They want the truth.
They just want the cop thrown in jail.
Right.
That's ultimately what they want.
Right. They were calling for this guy's head immediately. They wanted him fired. But this DA came out today and spoke for 25 minutes. He was sweating bullets. I thought he was going to pass out up there. He couldn't have been more nervous. He had a towel in his hand and he was wiping his face constantly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it was brutal, dude. Look at the guy. Maybe K-Dog could even pull up a video of him, but he's literally sweating beads of down his face the whole time. And he went item by item, line by line for 25 minutes. He talked about his background. He talked about growing up and understanding the differences between the communities and in law enforcement. And, you know, I've got a mother that still worries about me being half black, going out, blah, blah, blah. He went on and on and on. And all I could think is he's thinking, don't riot in my city. Don't riot in my city. Don't riot in my city. He's throwing everything out there to like, look, guys, my job is to look at these facts and decide whether or not I have enough evidence to prove that somebody's guilty of something. And if I don't have those, it's a waste of time and money to go just forward with that. So I think a lot of people
it's
are
unjust to go forward with it.
It's very unjust. You're right. And it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next, you know, tonight, tomorrow, whatever in Wisconsin. But
I'm sick of these stories.
I know,
man.
dude. And they're only going to pop up
over
more.
and over and over and over.
They're only going to pop up more as people feel this unjustness is going on, whether it's true or not. People feel that way, and so I don't see it stopping.
The flames are fanned with each one, and with each non-indictment, more fanned, right? So the next city that this happens in, the next questionable circumstance, then here we go again.
Yeah,
tinderbox.
Yep. How do you stop that though? I mean, I've asked it 1,000 times. What would you like them to do? I'm tired of hearing retards go, why do they have to shoot to kill? No offense, E. Why can't they just shoot him in the toe or shoot him in the knee?
That has come out of his mouth, hasn't it?
I know it has. And it's just an asinine thought.
Of course it is.
When you're talking about a moving target in a split-second decision, you go center mass. Like, that's shit that first graders know.
Or, Mike, we should disarm all police, right, Michael Moore?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a perfect idea. Let's just disarm the cops. Wonderful. It's just, but I don't know what you expect them to do in that situation. You hear some commotion going on, all these reports, there's some girl screaming upstairs, and you go up there, you're risking your own life at that point. You don't know what you're walking into. You don't know. And then you get punched in the face by a guy who's hopped up on shrooms, weed, Xanax. He's fucking punching his friends. He's weaving in and out of traffic. Like, I'm not saying, maybe it was just a really bad night for him, but in that scenario, what would you like the cop to do? Seriously.
I know.
We're going to riot over that? Okay. Wonderful.
That's what I'm saying. Like, reasonable people might be able to disagree on that, but you should be able to see that the decision is a reasonable one. Right?
I would hope. And if you can't see that
this isn't like a Rodney King deal, right? Where they
where it was very easy to go, okay, that looks like you gotta go
a little bit over the top, maybe. I don't know.
You're taking out your day on that motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
You've had a bad day, and that dude's paying the price for it. No matter what he did, at some point when the guy is unconscious, you can stop beating him. That just seems to make sense. So you're right, dude. I get that. Like, why in that scenario you can go, okay, yeah, there's an argument there. But in these cases, it's like, well,
you might disagree with it, but you got to say, hey, the system is the system, and they looked at it carefully. And these people have elected this guy to be the DA, and he's the one who's analyzed it.
Yeah. And the fact is, and we've talked about it before, but in some of these cases, you can't point to leadership is all white and the cops are all white. And like, you've got you've got half black police forces, and you've got black DAs and prosecutors and mayors, and like, you've got representation, yet the same thing seems to be happening. So what do you do?
What dude do?
What dude do?
Dude, look at the sweat coming off that dude's brow.
Yeah.
That is going to leave a ring around that collar.
Yeah.
Wow,
a yellow
man.
stain that's not coming out.
Look at it. It's on his chin, about to drip down.
Dude, it was like someone stood over him with a fucking pitcher of water and just slowly poured it the whole time. I mean, I felt bad for him. But in this case, if this guy did everything you could ask for out of a DA as far as transparency, laying it out, He did everything, and people are going to commend him for the way he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's not good enough, I don't know what to tell you, because you're not going to get any better than what that guy did today.
Speaking of lawyers, remember, if you're a young, attractive female teacher who's eager to brighten her students' future, or you enjoy a good beer but can't seem to find the time to fix your taillight, call Helm Law 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation and receive a complimentary 6-ounce bottle of water. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off. Thank you, David Helm.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, David. Here's someone that maybe could use David Helm's services. And this happened in Baltimore shortly, like as the riots were going on. We got and we've often asked, like, when we see these videos of jits going ham in a McDonald's, and you see some kid just being beaten down and kicked in the face, and it's like, why is nobody jumping in here? Why is nobody doing anything? What is wrong with society that you're letting this animalistic behavior take place and nobody's doing anything to help? Here's probably why. 61-year-old guy, a 17-year-old boy has been charged as an adult, hitting the 61-year-old guy alongside a group of approximately 50 other teens.
Oh,
yeah. In Baltimore, Maryland, Richard Fletcher was brutally beaten by the teens after he went outside to politely ask two girls who were fighting on top of his truck to move along and continue their disturbance down the street.
on top of his truck.
They're fighting on top of his truck. And so he's just like, yeah, I don't mean to interrupt. This looks like a good fight.
Young ladies.
Do you mind? So the mob of teens turns on him and just kicks the shit out of him. There he is.
Oh,
Yeah. Fuck. He was left with a broken eye, with both broken eye sockets, a broken nose, broken ribs, and a brain bleed. He also needed a blood transfusion. Police have made 2 arrests in the case, are hoping to bring all the teens believed to be students at Baltimore Community High School to justice. Antoine Lawson has already been charged with attempted murder. 15-year-old girl has been charged with assault. Joe Lamb, who owns a business nearby, saw the attack and said he wasn't at all surprised with what happened based on how the neighborhood has been. He says it's gotten out of hand. It's gone too far. The kids walk on top of cars, kick dogs, let dogs out, throw trash, steal milk from school, and throw them at houses.
they kicked the poos.
They kick the poops. Threaten neighbors with bodily harm. Fletcher is out of the hospital. Harborview Neighborhood Association has opened up a GoFundMe. They think he's going to need more surgeries. They estimate they're going to need between $200,000 and $400,000
Oh my God.
in medical to go that the insurance company won't cover.
Well, if he needs to take some pressure off the brain, I'll go ahead and saw a hole in it.
Yeah,
If he,
you could do that.
If he's like, I call it the Gupta.
Yeah, the goop. You
Yeah.
going with the goop?
Ah,
There they are. There's Antoine up there, far left, top left.
good looking kid.
Young, yeah, good looking guy, right?
Son of a bitch, allegedly.
Alleged son of a bitch. So yeah, they several additional surgeries to look
Damn,
forward
dude.
to. Yeah,
Imagine that. Ladies, could you please take the fisticuffs down the road?
yeah.
Then just
What?
like
Turn
hornets.
on them. Yeah, and more and more of this stuff is coming up. And Jay, you've mentioned this before, like setting race relations back all these years. And I feel like a broken record talking about this stuff, but these stories keep coming up. Boston University professor
Mm-hmm.
who called white college males a problem population. That includes you. You're a problem population.
Well,
He's not college age, dude. This guy's a
Yeah.
33-year-old
30,
man.
33,
Oh,
33.
31.
Five, whatever.
It just
Whatever
keeps
it
going.
is.
Not even 32, 31.
She was publicly criticized by the university's president. Said on Tuesday she regrets making the remarks.
It's your customers, man.
Right.
Black sociology professor Seda Grundy, who completed her doctorate at the fine University of Michigan, just last year, had declared on her now private Twitter account that white masculinity is the problem for America's colleges. Deal with your white shit, white people. Slavery is y'all's thing.
Is that Solomon Grundy right there?
There's Ms. Grundy. And every MLK week, I commit myself to not spending a dime in white-owned businesses.
Nice.
And every year, I find it nearly impossible.
That's not racist at all.
No, not at all. Grundy said the events in the
It's like, I'm sorry. I just like it hit. I know you already know it, but it's just like the more I hear it out loud, the more I think that's fucking racist, you moron. Like here we sit here with all these other people, racist and reprehensible,
reprehensible behavior.
That's racist, you bitch. Like,
I'm glad he just woke up. Who hit E over the head with a sledgehammer?
I know.
Welcome to the show, sir.
You're welcome.
God, epiphany.
It's like,
But
Light
I
ball.
just
Boom.
couldn't. I guess I just couldn't take it anymore.
No,
Jay.
but think about it. If you
Imagine
were
if I said that.
if you're a college professor and you came out and said, black college males are a problem population. Deal with your black shit, black people. Slavery is y'all's thing. Every MLK week, I commit myself to not spending a dime in black-owned businesses, and every year I find
That'd
it
be pretty
impossible. Do you think that would fly? Do you think you'd still have your job and your career if a white guy, a
Of
white
course
professor?
not. It works the other way because whites are the majority and they are quote in power. So that's why it works that way.
It's retarded.
Of course it is, but
and it stirs up shit is what it does. Grundy said and what you've talked about, Jay, Grundy said the events in the United States over the past year have made the inconvenient matter of race an unavoidable topic. But she expressed remorse over what she said. I regret that my personal passion about issues.
deeply? No deep. It's bullshit.
I do like to say, no, she didn't, because she said what she meant. She
I
can say it's this idea that you could just say whatever you want, and then I regret it. Well, no, she doesn't.
I
Exactly
agree that
what
she
thought.
doesn't. It's like going into save career mode now.
Yeah,
And yeah, she said what she needed to say,
and now she just gets to.
yeah. I honestly, I don't even have a problem with her saying it. I have a problem with the fact that I know if you flip that, it's reprehensible, and it needs to be. You could say half that, and you'd be so fucking fired. Not even fired, so fucking fired. You're done. Your career's over. You are a racist to the max. Period. I regret my personal passion about issues surrounding these events led me to speak about them indelicately. Boston University continued to distance itself from Grundy's racially charged tweets on Tuesday as its president penned an open letter to the campus saying the comments were hurtful. President Bob Brown acknowledged Grundy's right to hold and express her opinions, but said her remarks unfairly typecast certain groups of people. He stopped short, though, of acknowledging that comments were directed almost exclusively at white people. I do not say this lightly or without great deal of consultation and soul-searching.
That's nice.
Do people do that? Do people really go into great detail of soul-searching? I don't think I've ever soul-searched.
I think we had an apology, I don't know, months ago where somebody soul searched, prayed and everything.
Well,
it was the white chick with the black eye that was like, hell yeah, America, you just made me famous and shit. Remember the chick that was like, she's doing the jigaboo dance?
Yes.
I think it was the jigaboo dance lady. She was
No.
Yeah, she was meeting with community leaders.
She met with community people and stuff, and she may have said, but I can't remember the one, but there was a different one where a girl flat out said she was going to pray on it for 24 hours.
Yes, I think I'm remembering a different one. I'm remembering sitting in there.
I can't remember
The
what
other
the
studio
topic was
setup.
about, though. Because
Yeah,
she did the soul searching and community leaders and yada yada. But
I
there was
remember the one that was going to pray on it was the one we were making fun of her because it was like,
the praying was
like,
like,
it was
pray I
like,
don't get fired. I pray I don't get fired.
Anna Marie, I can't believe you said that. Remember
Yeah,
that?
well-
She was like, she worked for a council member or something.
Yeah.
And she made some comments about the first family, I think.
Yeah. God, there's so many apologies. They all run together. But here's the chick from Cleveland.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
jigaboo.
it's still?
The jigaboo movie.
Yeah, the jigaboo lady. He's like, hell no.
Look at him. Look at that.
Hell no, you didn't just say that.
He's got his red shirt. Thank God I wore my red shirt today. A red kerchief.
Yeah, he's looking good. The university, they said they understand there's a broader context to Dr. Grundy's tweets, and that as a scholar, she has the right to pursue her research, formulate her views, and challenge the rest of us to think differently about race relations. But we also must recognize the words have power, and the words in her Twitter feed were powerful in the way they stereotyped and condemned other people.
I'm starting to get very confused on whether words have power or not, or whether context matters or not.
Yeah.
I think that words
I
do have
agree.
power, and
Yeah.
context does not matter in any way that you say it.
Yeah, because clearly context was crystal clear here.
Right.
She said what she intended to say. There's no like taking it out of context, which that drives me more nuts than anything.
How come when Jonah Hill says faggot and he says words matter no matter what the context is, but then here,
because like Jay said, she's the minority. So
right.
Supporters said the comments were not racist. They started the hashtag I stand with SEDA and launched an online petition that notes the university, the largest in Massachusetts in terms of enrollment, is the place where Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King earned his doctorate. And that has what to do with what she said? So what? Who cares?
Yeah, they're trying to like link in this bigger civil rights issue, right?
Yeah.
Link her to the doctor and then everything is good. Whatever.
Calling Professor Grundy's tweets racist minimizes the very real effects of racism for people of color in the United States. She'll report to work July 1st. Great news. Great news out of Boston.
Here she is.
Oh, I love this.
You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Logan Tittle.
Logan Tittle?
Gaga surprising a lot of people last night with this tribute to the Sound of Music.
It was
It's very
wonderful.
impressive, though, isn't it?
It's hard to really hear her voice
Lady Gaga.
with all the jigaboo
Yeah.
music that she did, whatever you want to call it, jigaboo.
Yeah.
Yikes. In case anyone else
we
is
missed the
clueless,
fucking best part of that was him just staring at
Hell yeah.
Look at this.
See his
mug.
eyebrows go up. He's like,
Get used to this mug, America. You're about to see me a whole lot. We going viral today, America. Smile big for the camera. Hey, remember the story we did yesterday on the Bin Laden?
oh yeah, Seymour Hirsch.
Yeah, Seymour Hirsch's article. Lots of people coming out against it, saying this is total bullshit. Every line of this is bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Well, NBC came out today and corroborated.
NBC of all places.
NBC was doing their own investigation. Claims were from Seymour Hirsch that Obama lied about the role of Pakistani special forces in the raid that killed bin Laden. They've been corroborated by an investigation carried out by NBC News. Seymour Hirsch released the report yesterday or on Sunday late night, accused the president of deliberately misstating the facts of the raid in an attempt to take credit for the success hours after the SEAL operation killed bin Laden. NBC News has released its own investigation into the allegations and is standing by Hirsch's claims.
Wow, man.
Yeah, they've corroborated Hirsch's claim that the walk-in asset that revealed the vital information as to where bin Laden was hiding was in fact Pakistani. The official U.S. line, however, maintains that the CIA located him by tracking couriers to his walled-in complex in Abbottabad.
They just had a dude walk in and say, yeah, we're holding them here.
Yeah, basically.
Give me my 25 mil now.
Yep. And reports in that article by Hirsch said he got 20 million. And I think he's living in Washington now. NBC stated that it has long been pursuing leads about a walk-in and that their own findings match those reported by Hirsch.
Wow.
Yep. Hirsch is absolutely standing by his reporting. He said he vetted these people himself. He knows what he's doing, and he would not have come forward with this if he didn't absolutely believe it. Doesn't necessarily make it 100% right, but
yeah, I want to read that again. I'm struck by just how starkly different it is from what we've been told. So
yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a fascinating read. You'll enjoy it if you like those types of things.
Yeah.
It's a good story. The other interesting thing regarding ISIS, Al Qaeda, that kind of stuff is, and take this with a grain of salt, terrorists could bring down a passenger plane flying between the U.S. and the UK tomorrow. The former deputy chief of the CIA has warned, Michael Morell is his name. He says there is a significant chance an ISIS-inspired attack at any time. He fears Al Qaeda are capable of bringing down a transatlantic flight today. Speaking about his new book, which is why I say take it with a grain of salt. He's got books to sell.
Yeah.
The Great War of Our Time. The former #2 at America's top spy agency says the West must continue to put pressure on the terrorists or risk another 9/11. To put it bluntly, I would not be surprised if Al Qaeda tomorrow brought down a U.S. airliner traveling from London to New York, or from New York to L.A., or anywhere else in the United States. I think the most likely thing is a specialized explosive that brings down an airliner in the U.S. I really worry about that. The last 3 attempted attacks on U.S. soil were by Al Qaeda. He's more worried about Al Qaeda than he is ISIS. While adding that the next fear was a targeted attack on shopping malls. How horrific would that be?
Yeah.
I mean, any of it would be horrific, but terrorist groups are all capable of carrying out an attack where 10 to 15 armed people storm a shopping mall with as many casualties as possible. Having al-Shabaab talk about attacking malls and encouraging radicals in the U.S. to attack malls really worries me. He said the greatest danger to the U.S. remains al-Qaeda and its sophisticated chief bomb maker, Ibrahim al-Asiri. He's believed to have made the underwear bomber that was Christmas Day, like 09?
Something like that,
over Detroit. He describes him as evil and a master at his craft. He may well be the most dangerous terrorist alive today.
Don't you feel like it's been a while and something might be due?
Yeah, I totally remember a couple years ago hearing how, well, we're doing something right. I mean, there hasn't been a single attack on American soil since 9/11. And that's scary to think like, well, yeah, but how long will that hold true?
Got to be vigilant, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, I believe we're doing something right at some point to stop shit.
Well, the way they know that is because it's very, very, very hard to plan something as big as that without having a humongous money trail that costs a fortune to pull off a 9/11. You would have to have money transfers. It'd be impossible not to leave a trail with that, which is how they sniff that stuff out. Also the communications that go underground. So with the new age of social media, they don't have any idea how you stop the social media push, where if you're just going, hey, if you're feeling inspired, we'll take credit after you do it. So just go nuts. Just walk into a mall and blow people up.
Yeah, that's what's surprising is there isn't more of that, like ISIS-inspired shit. But why does it take that big of a money trail right now to do something effective? I don't know. Seems like
I'm not sure, but that's how they say they figure that stuff out.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a link they're constantly monitoring, but
probably a lot of back and forth trips and planning and yeah, I know.
Seems to me if you really thought it through, you could transfer pretty large amount of money through various means.
Give me any ideas, Jay. What are you doing?
I don't know. It just seems like
you could pull it off. Could you pull off 9/11 too?
I mean, I'm not saying something of the 9/11 scale, but simply having a dude walk on with a bomb and, jam between his nutsack and his asshole
would be a lot harder now, but pre 9/11.
Yeah, but when you got this dude, this evil Ibrahim dude, or whatever the hell his name is, Bob, thinking up new and different ways every day.
Yeah. I'm more worried, dude. We talked about this before when we were discussing different scenarios that it could have been when that plane went down.
Mm-hmm.
And we had bumped into that theory of it being taken over, the computer and the plane being taken over and hacked.
Yeah.
That scares me more than anything. Knowing what computers are running our cars nowadays, computers are running planes nowadays. And the idea that you could be on the ground and hack into a plane system and just shut it down. And then you take out the whole play of we need people, bad guys on board with some new age bomb. You don't need any of that
through
shit
security,
anymore.
Right.
You could literally drive it into whatever.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. We had our pilot listeners write in recently. Pilot Tom wrote in a couple items. Yes, when we leave for the bathroom, and he's referring to that asshole Lubitz who flew into the Alps.
Yeah, and German wings.
And referring to our discussion about when they leave and what the procedure is. So Tom's a pilot in the U.S., obviously. He says, yes, when we leave for the bathroom, the flight attendants do block the aisle, but we still close the door because the flight attendant comes into the cockpit. I'm sure that's what Jordan, our other pilot listener, meant, but the most important part of it is that we usually hope the best-looking female comes to babysit us while the other takes a pee break, but usually it seems the big E of the group always flamboyantly volunteers to come up instead.
Of course.
Oh no. Tom says, I fly the Airbus A320 series, the same kind that fucking Lubitz asshole flew into the Alps, and he should have known that you could dial the altitude select down 100 feet and it would try to go to it. He did know exactly what he was doing too, by the way. He dialed the airspeed up as the plane descended to make the rate increase. Otherwise, it would have taken nearly twice as long as it did. There's no way, he says, anyone outside the cockpit would know that the altitude was selected to 100 feet, nor can anyone outside the cockpit change it. So we were talking about, like, I thought I had read that there was some sort of override if they saw that the pilot was selecting it too low or something like that. He's saying no.
Yeah, that's what I that's what I was led to believe too.
Modern planes will warn you about terrain, but it won't save itself from hitting it. I'm kind of wondering if he was thinking of doing it on the outbound way out and chickened out. Remember they showed that he tested it.
Yep, we had talked about that because it seemed weird that he was setting it down to 100, then taking it up, almost as if he was having second thoughts, maybe.
Yeah, and Tom speculates maybe he did a final reflection on his shitty life that finally set him off before they turned around and did that final flight that made him follow through the last time. I wonder if they were checking his email, phone records to see if he got some email or text. Anyway, you guys rock. Thank you for doing the show. Yep, thank you, Pilot Tom. And Jordan writes in, our other pilot, just to dovetail with that. The Crown, the Cult Leader, and the Fool. I got Crown.
I'll take Cult Leader.
On Thursday's episode, the Cult Leader ranted on that fucking mass murderer from German Wings. Then you referenced my expert testimony inaccurately, but when the Crown speaks, it's law or whatever. Sorry, Jordan. So he's kind of pissed that Pilot Tom just called him out, probably, right? Because Tom did so in a respectful way. He said, that's probably what Jordan meant.
Yeah, but the Crown fucked it up.
I fucked it up.
Were you paraphrasing?
No, dude. I don't know what I was doing.
That doesn't sound very Jay-like.
Dude, it's probably 1 a.m. and
That's
I was
true.
slap happy. I don't know.
You hear those excuses
sorry,
just
Jordan.
flying from over there?
He says, I do need to weigh in on the situation as it has become a topic of conversation between my colleagues and me. Number one, there are always 2 people in the cockpit on U.S. aircraft.
Always 2 in the cockpit.
Always 2. And so that goes with what Pilot Tom said. The flamboyant Big E of the group comes up to sit with you.
It sounds like Jordan's story is changing a little bit. I'm going with Tom on this. I heard some email from him the other day, I think. And
I must have paraphrased.
It just didn't sound like this. I don't know. I'm losing faith in
Number
Pilot
2.
Jordan.
The minimum. Hold on. This is the guy who's going to smuggle a fidget for us.
Oh, that's right.
So lay
genius.
off Jordan.
Brilliant. I love Jordan.
Number 2, the minimum experience level is much higher before you can even touch a passenger aircraft. 1,500 in the USA hours of flight time versus 250 in Europe. 3, pilots go through a lot of screening, including as part of the interview process at a major airline in the US. The last step is to sit down with a psychologist.
Really?
Number 4, the professional.
Is that just U.S. though? I think the standards are
Sounds
much
like it.
higher in the United States. I thought I did hear that at one point. Not to put words in Jordan's mouth.
Number 4.
We know he doesn't like that.
No. Do not misrepresent what Jordan said.
No.
The professional pilot community is very upset about this incident. It was an utter betrayal of a profession in which we take very seriously, spending hours and hours of training, over $100,000 in cost and years of commitment, causing us to miss Christmases, birthdays, and to lose marriages. Not such a bad thing, but the divorce rate is above 70%.
Really?
I could so see that.
Why?
Just because you're gone
Always
all
fucking
the
gone.
time. And let's be, I know that's maybe a cliche, but come on, there's those stewardess, you're gone all the time. I could just see a lot of infidelities.
Yeah, really.
Of course, I could see that in every marriage, but
we pride ourselves on putting, a man in uniform, right? You can't resist that man in uniform
Well, they're just-
pulling a suitcase behind him
but you know what I mean.
through the concourse
Yeah, exactly, Jay.
with that hat and wings and
Hell
those
yeah.
bars on his sleeve. I mean, who can deny that man?
I saw Catch Me If You Can. That guy Leonardo was getting laid all the time in that movie.
That was back in the 60s or 70s. And pilots, I think, were put at different esteem. I don't know.
I know.
Sorry, Jordan and Tom.
When patting the ladies in the aisle was on the fanny was encouraged.
The fanny. Back when fannies were fannies. We pride ourselves on putting safety first. We know that sitting behind us are several people inside a pressurized aluminum tube on top of thousands of pounds of fuel, and the responsibility is not lost.
That's so crazy. I mean, even just looking at the image of this plane over here, like, just you get in this thing and you got 100, 200 people. It's just like
300 people.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we fucking go.
Yeah.
On Monday's episode, you talked about the United diversion with the removal of the autistic kid. Any diversion is a huge pain in the ass. It's the last thing we want to do. Not only is it inconvenient, we have to do a fuck ton of paperwork for the company, for the FAA and the police, and normally a call from the chief pilot. That being said, if you're being disruptive, you're gone. Sit down, shut up, and enjoy the fact that you're experiencing the miracle of human flight.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, that would be so irritating. I can luckily say that I've never had a disturbance on a plane where they took it down. I've
Yeah, no
definitely
way.
been on rowdy planes. Going to Vegas usually can get crazy.
I've not even been on a real rowdy plane.
I've
really?
been
Like, what's
responsible for the
Wait,
rowdiness
wait a minute,
on
what,
planes
like,
before.
what when you say you've been on a rowdy plane, like a regular flight, you're not
Yeah.
talking about what would be a rowdy
Get
flight?
drunk as shit
But
with
like
a bunch
a lot
other.
of people, not just you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Derek and I had, I don't know, a case of beer by the end of the flight. We were, it was one of those where it was like the back of the plane had 3 seats facing 3 seats, so you're facing each other.
Huh.
And so it just turned into a 6-person bar. And we had some guy that was like, he owned a bunch of hotels.
So he was just kind of like,
And he was just like, we were his best friends in the world. He invited us to these rooftop parties in Vegas and all this shit. And we just got hammered drunk. I mean, flirting with the wait staff, the waitresses. And
they didn't.
I
How
mean,
long ago was this?
this was pre 9/11. So
they didn't say anything.
No.
I
But we were having fun. We weren't. I mean, if you ask people 3 rows in front of us if they were having as much fun,
Right.
probably not. But
you weren't
but
like
we weren't
belligerent.
bad drunks. We were
Mm.
happy drunks.
But
Yeah.
dude, I like last time when I went, dude, or 2 times ago when I went from here to like Utah and then Utah to Vegas or something like that. And I had, I don't know, 2, I think, from here to Utah, but I didn't have to get off the plane. It was just one of those land boom or whatever.
Yeah.
And I ordered another beer from Utah to Vegas, and I think she gave it to me, but she was like, the waitress was really like, oh, another beer.
Really?
3 freaking beers. She was giving me a real hard time about it.
Yeah,
well,
they've
with your
probably gotten-
condition, she probably identified you right off the bat.
That's
as
true.
A
Maybe.
fucktard.
That's fair.
Maybe.
That's fair. Yeah, there was a day when they would just give you drink after drink
Yeah.
after drink. I don't know. It's probably not smart to do that anymore.
I remember getting cut off on the way back from the Cambridge trip.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and our
Really?
group.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
long ass flight too,
It
right?
was. We were bombed.
Yeah.
But you weren't. You
Makes the
were
flight more
21 or
fun.
you weren't 21. Was it, I just didn't know how
I
that
was
works. I
not.
remember thinking that you said you weren't.
I was not.
No, I just didn't know how the age worked because I thought you said where you were. It didn't matter. You didn't have to be 21 or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So in the-
Jay has a long history of getting hammered drunk on transportation rides,
Yeah.
trains, planes.
You might as well.
Or
might as well.
automobiles.
It's true.
Um,
Hey, as you may have heard, Zott Ford is in the middle of their spring cleaning sale. That means all 2014 inventory has got to go, and it has to go now. While supplies last, you can get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 2014 in stock. Also, the rebates on the 2014 cars, trucks, and SUVs have never been higher at Zott Ford than they are right now. It's not very often you can finance a brand new Ford with $0 out of pocket and 0% financing. So please hurry down to Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98. Jump all over these smoking hot deals the same way I jump all over Big E for being such a fuckface. Check out their massive inventory and incredibly hot sales staff at ZottFord.com.
when Tiger Woods and Lindsey Vonn split over a week ago, the skier posted, and E mentioned it on her Facebook, the explanation that both lead incredibly hectic lives that forced us to spend a majority of our time apart. So that was the reason given for why they broke up.
Sounds reasonable.
Well, it turns out now people are saying that maybe, just maybe, he had a little relapse in the sex department.
Well,
What are you gonna do, right? Boys will be boys, right?
Well, dude, I think that's what he needs to get back on track, man.
You know what they
Remember-
say about cheaters, right? E?
Always once a cheater, always a cheater.
No, they just have way more fun.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've always
Sorry. Sorry.
How about future comments are made into the Mikey? I don't know.
Sorry.
So Lindsay found out about the women again, always while he's on the road, just like when he was with Elin.
What did you?
It was after Tiger was eliminated from the San Diego-based Farmers Insurance Classic in February, somewhere near his old stomping grounds in Southern California. The Tiger had a one-night stand. He withdrew from the Farmers, and this source says, you have to understand, well, it's not right. It's not really wrong either. Tiger isn't married. He doesn't really drink or do drugs. So what else does he have when he can't afford to that he can't afford to lose again? He's allowed to find some relief.
Yeah, right, Jay. He's allowed.
Most men would drink over such losses. Tiger has sex over it, usually with local hookers whom he pays exorbitant amounts to, probably so they will want the repeat business and won't talk. Michelle Braun, a former Hollywood madame, revealed that between 06 and 07,
I'm a damn.
yeah, little madame.
Hmm.
Who was the madame?
I don't know.
We all think of
God damn it.
yeah.
Picture Heidi Fleiss.
Heidi Fleiss, thank you. This is a different one, but
I'd call
she
her
says,
a madam, but you'd call her a madame.
All right.
Tomato.
right, madam.
Hey, you know what?
Hollywood
he
madam.
calls him madame, he says.
Yeah.
That's another. Remember that
Yeah,
lady
he's the
said-
smug son of a bitch, isn't he?
Another thing that he pronounces, it's very smug.
Yeah,
It's
not
not
smug.
documentary.
madame is way more. I personally like it because I think it's more pompous than madam. Saying madame.
Laboratory.
I don't say laboratory. By the way, I finally watched The Simpsons
From this
episode.
week?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking awesome.
it's a good
And
episode.
it was a very good episode about bullying.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really funny that some of the jokes they had in there. But I saw Homer do the "Good day, sir." I said "Good day, sir" to Flanders.
Right. Huh? Pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So most men would drink over such losses. Tiger has sex over it. So this Hollywood madame
Smug bastard.
said that he paid upwards of $40,000 for 6 dates. But this time he was spotted with the woman. When Tiger realized he was seen, he became concerned, and eventually he decided to confess to Lindsay, something he didn't do with Elin. Tiger cheated again, but it wasn't anyone special. He really wanted Lindsay to be the one, but he blew it again. He can't help himself. He's got an addiction. He relapsed.
Oh, come on. Just give me a break with sex addiction. Sex
No, go ahead. Just
sex
finish your
addiction.
thought.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. That came out smoothly.
Is there anything weird about this image? Anything look a little weird? Doesn't it look photoshopped? Like
Yeah,
they're
it
not really
does.
like her head's too big or something.
Her head does look way big.
Yeah. And she's like standing almost like it looks like they're about the same height in real life, but they took some height off her or something. It
Yeah.
just looks odd, man.
By the how does sex addiction work? Like if you're in a healthy relationship with someone and you're getting sex every day, you probably don't have much need to go out and find it elsewhere. Does it become addiction if you're going out like
I don't know.
so my point is if he bangs 120 chicks because he's on the road all the time, he's gone 10 months out of the year, where maybe that would just be a normal amount of sex if he was home all the time with his wife. You know what I'm saying? Not to justify or to say it's wrong, but
So what are you saying?
no, I'm just asking. Like the whole idea of sex addiction bothers me because if you're banging your wife,
Dude's just a horn dog is all he is.
yeah, and he's just got more opportunity.
Right. When you got money and you're Tiger Woods and
Pay $40,000 for 6 dates.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
40,000
dates.
roses.
It's just so weird, you know, like you're I don't know, man, just paying for a piece of meat. That's weird.
I know. I wish we could all do that, right? E? You know what I'm saying? E?
Hell yes. I have no problem with it.
It's
Obviously.
so weird, man.
If you can afford it, right? E?
If
I
I
mean,
could,
you don't
you
want
know,
to steal it. That'd be rude.
No. God, no. But I would
Yeah.
have no problem with it if I started making some money.
Knowing Tiger, he doesn't even see it as cheating because there's no romance or feeling there.
Exactly. Perfect.
it's just
perfect.
Just
Getting
landing
that
spot.
nut off.
Yep.
Exactly. No
So,
emotional crap.
Bust this last nut real quick before I get on my way here. It's just a stress reliever, like a highball or two after a bad day.
Like
CJ, it's just a
highballer.
highball or
What is
two.
It's just his thing.
This is written in the fucking highball.
Yes, you'll have a highball.
I'm not saying people don't drink those
The-
anymore.
the Rat
but-
Pack. Hanging out with Sammy Davis Jr. Frank Sinatra.
Gonna get me a highball and get your war bonds too.
Right. Loves the war bonds.
Despite pleas from his peers and relatives to keep going to his self-mandated therapy sessions. He's like, you know what? I've rethought that whole self-reporting and mandatory sessions I had to go to.
Right.
I'm just gonna go bang some whores instead.
Right.
That sounds like way more fun.
I'm going to do a self-mandatory therapy session later tonight, Jay.
He stopped going completely, leading to the one-time slip. But that one-time slip was enough to send Vaughn packing.
What happened?
Nice.
Jay.
That's Tiger's mom.
I know it is.
He's not
That's who
married to
that is?
Lindsay.
I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, that's Tiger's mom.
That's awesome. I
What
didn't even know.
happened?
That was after the car crash.
No.
Yes.
I didn't even know that. That's
No,
funny.
that's not Tiger's mom. That's the neighbor.
Oh, okay.
That's the Tiger's neighbor.
I always thought it was his mom.
No, I think I'm almost.
What happened?
I don't-
What happened?
You know what's so funny?
What happened?
See if you can find out. That was when he when Elin found out, what happened was he
Yeah.
took some Xanax because he can't sleep at night. So he popped a couple Xanax and then he starts dozing off. And she goes through his phone and finds bitch after bitch after bitch, dirty talking with Tiger.
I'd knock that shit off if I was you.
And so she wakes him up with a golf club to the head. She took one of his clubs. And so he runs out of the house into his Escalade and starts rearing down the driveway, just screaming down the driveway with Elin with his golf club in the hand, chasing after him. He slams into that tree. She busts both of his windows out of his Escalade with a golf club and then cracks him in the face, broke 2 of his teeth. And then the neighbor came over and said,
yeah, Max there?
No.
He said that?
No.
That's a weird
That's-
remark.
Yeah, I didn't remember that part.
You know what? I officially want to be done with this damn thing.
Really?
Yes.
You don't
Done
like
with
the
this.
instant replay?
No, done with it.
Why?
It's archaic. I don't know.
How dare
you
you?
push a button and magically sound comes out of it and it's archaic?
Done with it.
happened?
There you go. That's what she said.
No.
What a weird.
I want to hover my mouse over a phrase and click said mouse.
We can do that.
Yeah.
It's easy. The box is right there. Just plug it into your computer, load them on there, and then you can have your own little soundboard. We can make that
I'll
happen.
get to that.
We can make that happen.
That was, dude, just real quick. That was such a weird thing because remember that was Thanksgiving morning that broke. And
I remember seeing the ticker on the bottom.
Right.
I had cable at that point,
Yeah.
so I remember having the TV on, and there it goes.
I just
Like Tiger Woods.
And it's like he's in a crash.
Yeah.
Nothing had came out with these girls yet. Just that he was in this crash, and that was right after he'd won that U.S. Open. Remember, he had the 1 foot. He'd been hurt. Right. You know
I don't
what
remember
Well,
that.
I'm pretty sure it was, but like, but I just remember that, and all of a sudden, all this shit that we're still talking about came after that freaking Thanksgiving morning crash.
He's never recovered. either.
Never.
He's never been the same guy. He's never.
And I don't
he's
believe-
like ranked 125 in the world.
If
right
you
now.
looked at the pace he was on, too, I mean,
Oh.
that was unstoppable.
Yeah.
He was going to grab every single record. He was just going to
Should've.
be the absolute pinnacle of that game. And then,
And
boom.
I don't.
What's that?
I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that you can blame it on the, like, I don't know what it is, like, but it has to have something to do with all that stuff that happened. It can't
Of
just
course.
be injuries.
It's totally fucked up his personal life.
Yeah, but you would think a guy like Tiger was so known for that just steelness about him. Like he was able to compartmentalize things. He was able to take pressure off and focus. Like people, it was like Tyson in his heyday. Like people didn't want to shoot against Tiger. Like he was vicious on the golf course. He ate people up. And then this happens and he's nothing.
Yeah.
It's done. 125th in the world. Ranked golfer.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, 2008 is we won that last one. That's what that was when that was, wasn't it? Or was it 2009?
2009 is when-
Okay. I was
He had
wrong
a
then.
2009 Escalade, I remember.
Okay.
So it had to have been in 2009.
That's my bad then. I remember thinking that he had that. Remember that big miraculous win in the U.S. Open where he had like a broke, his leg was just whatever, and never mind. Anyway,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
No, it's crazy. I wonder if he'll ever get it back. I just don't know why he ever got married. Like he had to have been a dog leading up to that.
Yeah.
Like why would you go down that road? You can have kids with anybody. You can't possibly believe that your wife is going to be cool with you banging 120 chicks.
Right. And then you've got so much money at stake.
I mean, it
And you
cost
look
him
at
a quarter of $1 billion.
Right. Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Cost him over $200 million in that divorce. A fucking pretty babysitter
What
cost
happened?
him $200 million. It's basically what she was.
Mm.
Someone Facebooked me, and I'm going to go on them, but they say that it was Tiger's mom.
It was? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was like Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
It was absolutely Thanksgiving. I remember being at Thanksgiving and my mom saying, like, Tiger Woods got in a car accident or something. And I just remember,
What happened to you, man?
in his own driveway.
yeah, in his own driveway.
Who
And
can say that? I got into a car accident in my driveway.
I hit my parents' car. in my
Dude,
driveway.
I hit my garage door a few weeks ago.
Really?
Dude, I'm in my car and I have the opener in my hand.
The garage
and
door?
the garage
opener?
door opener. So the garage
I don't know
door
if
is
you meant
up.
the can opener.
No. Garage door is up. I've got the opener in my hand and I drive a stick. And as I grab the stick, I must have hit the freaking
God.
door.
Oh, no.
And I started to go backward and bam, fuck, what was that? Door goes up,
Oh,
but
man.
it clobbered it pretty good.
Did it?
I was able to bend it back. Just it's kind of like the edge hit right at the top of my car.
Oh,
I almost made it out. I almost Indiana Jonesed it,
Wow.
but I barely hit it and sent it back up. But it took kind of the bottom framing out of
bent it.
whack, and yeah, I just kind of
bent it
took
back.
some pliers and messed with it.
I've
But
backed into my parents' car and Nana's car, both in my driveway.
did you feel like
Nana-
a total asshole? I felt like a total asshole.
Of course. I mean, one of them was actually pretty decent. You know what it was? It was dark out in the morning, and I didn't think the car was parked there, and I think I just started backing out. And all of a sudden, boom!
That sucks. I have to make 2 insurance claims.
When did you clip Nana's vet?
I think it wasn't enough that shut up, it wasn't a vet. It was like an old.
It's a freaking General Lee, man. Replica.
That's right. We didn't make it. I don't think we made any claims. I think it was just enough that we didn't have to, because mine was a really POS car, and hers was not new by any means.
Thanks for not swearing there. That was
I know.
You showed great restraint there. Very
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Let's take a quick time out. And we'll come back and we'll talk about vacation etiquette that we all do.
Well,
and,
I'm not sure we all do this.
well, some of us.
We've definitely observed a lot of these.
Yes. And then we'll get into a GPS on a phone through work.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling I know where Jay's going to stand on this. We'll discuss next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
DC friends, you know. New Ford you'd like to enjoy. Right now, lease a new 2015 Fiesta. Hey, TDC friends, you know who it is. Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zod Ford and Holly. As Jay mentioned before, Zod Ford is all about offering our customers choices. Bruce Jenner chose to be a chick. Big E chose to be normcore. And Jay has foolishly chosen to be Big E's trainer. That's how life goes. Well, now you can choose which new Ford you'd like to enjoy. Right now, lease a new 2015 Fiesta, Focus, or Fusion for just $145 a month for only 24 months. Friends, even the cult leader will agree. These deals are too good to pass up. Just $145 for a new Fiesta, Focus, or Fusion. Hurry down to Zot Ford at I-75 and exit 98, or check out our sick deals and our massive inventory at zotford.com. Get there.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroitcast on a Wednesday with Mike and Jay. And before the break there, we were talking about airplanes and going on vacation. Something I'd like to do more of, I'm sure.
Someday.
We all remember what it was like, right?
Yeah.
And some of these things, it's kind of a story on the most ridiculous things travelers do when they go on vacation.
Picture the Griswolds, right?
Yeah, the cliche things. And the first one stood out to me. I've never understood this. The clapping when the plane lands.
Oh, my God.
Is there anything dumber?
That happens?
Yes. You've
I've
never been on a plane?
luckily never experienced people.
I think I've experienced that going to Orlando. I've lots of kids on there. It's Disney World.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited to be there.
They say for those
For the record, I did not clap.
I've never clapped.
I don't doubt that at all.
For those that have witnessed the eruption of applause from passengers as the plane hits the runway, can be baffling and an amusing experience. Relief at a safe touchdown or excitement they have reached their vacation destination. It's unclear why people do this on their flight. Pilots don't hear the clapping and can only learn about the passengers' grateful response from flight attendants. Therefore, when we clap not so much for them, but for ourselves.
Right. And like the pilots give a shit. I'm sure the flight attendant's like, yeah, they clapped for you. They were awesome. Sweet.
I wonder if Jordan and
Tom.
I wonder if they've ever heard that. An eruption of applause. And if they're grateful, if they think, well, job well done.
I think they know it's a job well done when they touch down and
I would hope so.
Roll into the airport.
I guess, would there ever be a time when it's warranted if you're going through humongous turbulence and the plane's jostled everywhere? And then you get it on the ground and it's like, well, bravo, my man. I thought we were all goners.
No, maybe if it's an airplane, the movie situation where you have to take a pilot from the passengers, maybe then, and that guy lands it, maybe then you clap.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I could see that. That would warrant it. That'd be warranted. The other one is taking the cheesiest photos imaginable, which
I'm sure has done this.
In normal
in
life.
Front of the Las Vegas sign. Yeah. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, it's just something where you're going about your daily life. You would never take a photo next to a sign or something, and yet you do that on vacation,
like by the Leaning Tower of Pisa, holding it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or we see that all the time. That's
right. Even just a sign. You're right. I mean, Vegas is known for it, but I mean, I think a lot of people do it like Orlando, or I could see. I don't know. You're maybe not by that sign, but you know what I mean. If there was something in town that said it.
I guess I don't have a big objection to that as I think about it.
I know. I was
right?
just going to say.
I mean, you're in Vegas. Take a picture of you in Vegas.
Yeah.
You and your family. We're in Vegas.
At Vegas, you could argue that every picture is probably a cliche. I mean, just of the strip and of the sign, right? So
I like to think if I was next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and you got to be at a distance, it's one of those optical illusions where it's leaning. So you put your hands up like you're the one holding it up from falling over.
Or you squish the Eiffel Tower in your fingers. I'm squishing the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm squishing your head.
Or hold the Eiffel Tower by the top.
Sure.
You know, all those things. But I honestly don't have a problem with that, I guess.
Act like you're pushing your girlfriend off the Grand Canyon, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. There's a good one. But see, I can justify that, you know, taking pictures of Big E's Steakhouse.
Right.
Or they all have some show-related.
I don't, pictures on vacation. I mean, unless
I don't have a big problem with it.
Cornball, I guess. That's the point of going on a vacation is you're kind of going somewhere different, and so you're taking pictures or images of that.
Good point. That one's not bad. I don't
mind that one either. Synchronized jumping.
What's that one?
Oh,
now this one I've done before.
Elevator.
No, where families get on a vacation together and
no, dude, you've done there's these guys with the Washington Monument coming out of their pants.
That's actually pretty good.
I know, dude.
That's pretty funny.
One guy's pulling his waistband forward, so it looks like the Washington Monument's coming straight out, and then he's got his hand around close to the top
head.
of
it. Those are actually pretty good, dude.
Freaking Americans. God love them.
Yeah. Where people like in unison, okay, sweet pie on 3, we're all gonna jump.
What?
No, you've done that?
No, I
haven't.
You
said you did.
I haven't done that.
You said you did,
no.
though. Now you're changing your story.
Done?
It's credibility.
What I've done is Jin, when I was in San Francisco Jin was telling me about a buddy. He showed me a picture that a buddy of his took.
An image?
Yeah, an image, a picture, if you will, at Coit Tower, which if you're in San Francisco, most people know where Coit Tower is, but it's up on the top. And so you can kind of look down over the city, but it's got kind of cliff edges and windy roads. So if you stand on the edge and jump, and if you shoot it from, like, if you're down below and I shoot you,
right,
it looks like you're floating above the city. You can't see the bottom of the cliff.
I don't put that the same as synchronized jumping.
Yeah, this is an example that Kadog just pulled up. That's just a synchronized jump in front of Lake Havasu or wherever.
And it looks
the hell they are.
retarded. Yeah.
Right.
But
yay!
I took a picture of Jin doing it, and it's fucking sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's got both legs up and his fist down, and it looks like the whole city is behind him, and you can't see it. So it looks like he's jumped 15 feet in the air.
Huh.
And it's just this blue sky and this background, but it looks like he's floating in midair. Really, he's 3 inches off the ground.
Super Jin.
Yeah, Super Jin. So I kind of feel guilty about that, but you know.
Well, I don't put that as, again, I would put that more in the first category. I wouldn't put that in synchronized jumping.
Yeah.
Would you?
I agree.
No,
if I had to
synchronized jumping
categorize
sucks.
that would go in the first category. Just the vacation.
I have
photo.
a picture that I spliced together of Beth and I doing it. And so
Doing it really?
It makes it look like we were synchronized, but we're not. Not like that, you sick sons of
Splice each
bitches.
other together. It's weird.
Yeah. But I just put the images together of her jumping and me jumping and into a picture.
An image.
Yeah, an image. And it looks like we're both jumping synchronized, but we're not.
That's a little corny.
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
I was just fucking around with my phone and the cool things I could do with it. That's all.
Seems like a lot of work.
Like, no, wait, look at see, if I had said that, the kind of defense mechanism was to say, oh, I was just messing around with my phone and seeing what I could do with it.
Yeah.
What he said, but you still did it.
See, like that. That's kind of like that.
Okay.
Well,
that's
not
same
as cool.
idea.
That's not as cool because you can see this.
Where's he? Like
barrier.
Empire State Building or something on
I
the
don't know.
observatory deck or whatever you call it, observation deck.
The trick, if you're going to do that, is the guy shooting the picture can't be level with you. He has to be shooting from below.
Okay.
So if you like get down on your
And you
knees
can't
or
have
lay down and
this.
shoot it. Yeah. See, imagine that picture without that railing there.
Right.
And that's like the Jin picture that I took. Anyway. Dressing like a native.
Oh,
So-
okay. Like a sombrero.
Sombrero would fall into that category.
Wait, I'm trying to think where you.
Top 5 answers on the board. Sombrero falls into that category.
A big cowboy
oh.
hat in Texas.
There you go. That
Jamaican
would work.
beads.
Yeah.
Jamaican beads would work. You're missing a big one.
I'm trying to. What else was it?
The islands.
Yeah.
LA?
Hawaii.
Wearing a lei or
A
a
Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, gotcha.
The other one was if you were wearing the Vietnamese conical hat,
okay.
which I want one of those.
My parents have one.
Do they?
Yeah, it was hanging on the wall and
Just
when
Bill's
I
or
was growing-
Cheryl's?
I don't know, man. I don't know why we had it or what the hell it was. Yeah, we had one of those, dude, hanging on the wall. I think maybe in a bathroom. Yeah.
Really?
God, I'm trying to picture where that was. I just remember it being on a nail hanging on the wall, and I'd take it off all the time and wear it.
Really?
Yeah, they're badass.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. But it didn't have the little tie,
It didn't have the, what is that, a bolo tie? Not a bolo tie, but
the strap.
E, have you ever worn a bolo tie? I bet you
no,
have.
I haven't actually. I kind of.
Dude, my grandpa,
Yeah, all right.
Sam, the emerging mother,
Yeah.
he wore those all the time. Instead
Really?
of ties, whenever he showed up at an event, he was
That's
wearing a bolo
awesome.
tie.
I kind of respect that.
He had a whole
This guy
collection of them.
rocks.
And at his funeral, we all had to come in and exchange our real ties for bolo ties. All the men
Really?
wore bolo ties. Sweet. There's a guy at the door holding a basket of these things.
No
kinda
kidding.
Yeah,
dude.
you had to take off your tie and put on one of those.
Those are much easier to tie. Much easier to tie.
Yeah. Oh man, that brings back memories, dude. He had some badass ones
What
too.
was
Really?
what was the point of the bolo tie?
What's the point of a freaking tie?
Well,
dude?
ties are dumb too, but I mean, it's just strings.
Honestly,
hanging.
it's cooler than the normal tie because you can really get unique with them. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of he had like rocks and shit, and
Yeah.
little decorative things that.
Never been a fan of the bolo tie. Got to be honest with you. Never been a fan.
most hardcore I got in wearing some of the country stuff. I never did buy a bolo tie.
Really?
No.
Surprises me. Attempting to join the Mile High Club. Apparently, a lot more people do that than you think.
You ever done that?
Not full on of you.
No, not full on.
I know what that means.
Yeah.
The mission wasn't completed, but there's been some hanky panky involved.
There may have been a blanket involved.
Yes, that's good. I think that's a given.
That is a given. If you grab a blanket and spread it over you and your lady,
I know. Like, if anyone thinks that's not
like,
what.
nothing to see here.
And she takes a nap on your lap.
Yeah, right.
Under the blankie. There is something about being 35,000 feet in the air, they say, in a tiny, that most people that do it go to the bathroom. Confined little toilet that appeals.
Dude, I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of public restrooms, and being in there, like, I just want to like not touch as much as I can and get the hell out of there. So
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd want to do that in there.
You know, I'm not trying to be naive. I'm really not. But like, maybe I'm someone who tends to like not like zone out. I know it doesn't seem like it, but like in a sense, like if I'm on a plane like that, I can't imagine that you could really not notice that two people ended up going into the bathroom. I mean, there's usually the flight attendants are usually hanging around back there. It's very obvious
Oh, I
when
know.
someone goes.
And then you emerge from there and everybody's just staring
I mean,
at
I
you.
know it must happen, but I'm really, unless it's like one of those overnight flights where it's like 2 a.m, maybe. But ones that are in the day,
Yeah, see, somebody's ass is going to be on that sink, and I don't know, man.
Well, preferably hers. I think that the way you could play it off though and go, you know, like she goes to the bathroom and then you follow closely behind.
well, of course
And
that's
then-
how it goes.
And then you knock on the door. Honey, are you okay?
I'm just
She's
slinking there.
She's been feeling very, very nauseous the whole
That's
flight.
gonna
I'm gonna
be
go
too
check on-
obvious.
And then they open the door and oh God, honey, are you okay? And she can pretend like she's puking. Then you go in there quickly under your pants. And then you come out and she's still kind of fucking hunched over and I just don't feel well. And
And you have a big grin on your face.
at that point, you're fist bumping the guys in the aisle, you know, because they know what happened. But you know,
I'm
you
being
can't
ser-
prove it. There's no proof.
I know, but I'm really kind of being serious about that. I know that it probably I'm sure that it does happen. We all, it's a myth or very famous or whatever. But I just feel like people would notice that two people walked into one of those bathrooms.
Yeah, I guess I've never noticed it. So I don't know.
And
But
I
I
think
guess
about it every time I'm on the plane, by the way. Every time I ever fly.
I wonder if it's
I
happened
always-
on a plane I've been on where a couple waltz
I
in the
could-
bathroom and
See, Mike's somebody who tends to, you things are oblivious to you a lot of times out of your
yeah,
little thing. But I don't know, just for me, I don't
he is
zone out.
very, very,
very in
observant.
tune.
No, I'm not. But I have a hard time staying focused to the point where I notice that people get up and walk. I always just watch people walk away to the bathroom. I don't know. I just always think about it.
He has a hard time staying focused, but yet he focuses in on this detail.
But
That's how it goes, though.
there are other people though, like you're worried about farting or shitting in front of us, like in the bathroom. Like you got to go to a special bathroom upstairs because you're worried about anyone hearing or seeing you do anything. Like you get really worried about that. I don't think the guy that's wearing the shirt on my last flight that says "Don't ask me shit,"
Right.
in huge letters on his shirt, I don't think that guy gives a shit at all if what you think or if you saw him do anything. So I think there's a giant percentage of people that are like, whatever, man, I'm going to join the Mile High Club.
Right.
I'm just asking how
cares?
much. I wonder how much it really happens in the bath. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it'd be a lot harder than they portrayed on movies to be.
I think hand jobs underneath the blanket
Totally.
are what
Does
is
that
mainly
count?
going on.
Totally.
I don't know.
Would you count that as joining the Mile High Club? Does it need to be completed?
I think it does need to be completed.
Ah.
Something needs to be completed to even apply for the Mile High Club.
I would think that, you know, if you're running a little on fluids that day,
You are, dude. He's got major issues.
Yes,
major
you
issues.
do.
if you're getting it 4 or 5
How-
times on
no,
a flight,
no,
and all of a sudden
no,
that last time you run a
no.
little low on fluids, I don't think it's the end of the world.
No,
I still count.
No.
It still counts. I joined the Mile High
If you're
Club,
on
even
a
if I didn't
fucking
finish.
plane and you're
I left
getting, and you
fully
start to
satisfied.
get one of those, And I'm not saying that if you can't finish because of people around this or that, okay, whatever. But that is totally that is ridiculous that if you were on a plane and you would do this and it wouldn't finish, you'd be like, oh well, no big deal.
We cannot forget the context in which
perfectly
satisfied. What's the phrase?
I was perfectly satisfied in the context of the whole of the day.
Are you as happy as you were when you full go?
Yes, I was perfectly
You're just as happy.
Right.
That's a lie.
It's I guess that's its existence, and if that's what he needs to, sleep at night to declare that, then that's okay. I mean, that's him.
Well, I get it if you're one of those just getting it one time a day guys. Yeah, it's imperative that you finish.
It's total bullshit.
But when you're getting it 4 or 5 times a day, sometimes you're running a little low on fluids. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Your argument is so flawed because that's not what they're saying. Are you as happy that last time as you are the first time when you blew up? No. You can't be. Not possible.
By definition, you are not perfectly satisfied.
There's a really good way to tell whether you're perfectly satisfied with sex. It's like
that's a good point. No, but you can be perfectly satisfied with the whole. And it's like, oh, this day was great. I got it so many times today. I didn't even bother finishing that last time. Perfectly satisfied.
Interesting that you've changed the entire answer, the entire context of your answer.
If you remember, that article was saying myths that you need to finish to be perfectly satisfied. It's a myth. You guys are in the minority.
Not from the people I've talked to, by the way.
Well, you don't count. You get sex once a year. Of course it's imperative.
No, I'm talking about other people that I talk to when I see people at events or like comedy things, and I ask them. It's a very common thing that comes up.
Oh, you're talking about my sex life with people, random strangers? Thanks, E.
Well, the random strangers that listen to the show every day.
Okay. A skyscraper survey revealed that a whopping 20% of passengers had at least attempted the deed. Mostly, what age group do you think is most likely to do that?
I don't think it's going to be younger, even though I think people would think
25 to 40.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
30s and 40s.
Maybe because
I would have thought 18 to 24.
Here's why I don't think so. I think at that age they're already doing crazy shit. When you get to this age of maybe 40, it's been stale. You're married. You've been same person for a long time. No, and then you're trying to spice it up, right? That's the deal. I would think like, hey, this could be something different than the closet.
Hey, that was a shot, man.
That was a shot.
There's nothing wrong with the closet.
I'm not saying there isn't, but
I'm a huge fan.
I thought you would have really taken to that idea I had. Thought it was a good idea.
What?
No, I'm just not into the whole public bathroom thing.
I know you're not,
being cramped in this little closet type bathroom isn't cool with me.
I know, but don't you agree with the idea that maybe a 40-year-old might be more likely just because they've been
maybe
okay.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't think it has anything to do with the quarters aren't ideal. However, to be able to register that you're in that club, it's like, yeah, it sucked for a few minutes.
No, I don't care about that. I don't need to tell anybody I'm in the Mile High Club.
Well, that's because you're not in there. You're not. But wait a minute.
I arguably am. We just talked about that.
You have joined the club already. What are you talking about?
No, I don't.
It's easy to say you don't care once you've already done it.
Well, I think
it's
there's
not on my bucket list. I don't give a shit about that.
Well, it's already been checked off your bucket list, so you don't care about it anymore. I understand that. You wouldn't do it again, but the other one people say that bothers them, and this kind of bothers me, is people that go on vacation and then end up eating at restaurants they have at their house. Like they'll go to a Denny's in a strange town or hit fast food. Like I cannot do that. I don't care where I am in the country. I can't go to fast food or
what are you
restaurants.
talking about? You went to In-N-Out Burger in Arizona.
We don't have In-N-Out Burger here.
Yeah, but you've had
it's
one before.
Fucking fast food.
Yeah, but it's different fast food.
Well, fast food's the only thing I disagree with that on. Because if you're doing a driving trip, I mean, you know what, dude? Like if I'm driving to Chicago, for example, like I'm not going to necessarily get off the highway.
No. I'm talking about if you're going to the Grand Canyon. I won't ever eat at a McDonald's or a Burger King or a Wendy's or a Taco Bell.
You'll try In-N-Out Burger instead.
Yeah,
you need food indigenous to the region, Mike.
Well, maybe so, but I won't go to if everyone's like, oh, let's go to eat. Let's go to Fridays. It's like, no, I have Fridays back home. I'm not going to Fridays.
Do we have Fridays here?
Yeah.
What's a Fridays?
TGI Fridays?
TGI Fridays.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like going there anyways, but do you guys do that? Will you go to?
I'm trying to think. Last trip I went on.
You know what, dude?
I think it's different with kids, maybe, but maybe not. Last trip I went on was
kids.
Orlando, I think, with the kids, and so you're eating at all the chains and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta be honest. on all vacations I've done, I'm still very cheap, so I don't really have the means not necessarily to try.
You can't afford an In-N-Out burger?
No, not an In-N-Out burger, but I'm talking about the idea of going to a real nice
Well,
restaurant.
I see what they mean. Like if you're over in England, you're not going to go to McDonald's and Pizza Hut the whole time.
That's
right?
kind of ridiculous for sure.
Yeah.
And I actually like more like you though. I actually try to go to places that are different. I try to hit more off the wall places as opposed to Applebee's.
Hit Jack in the Box instead of Burger King.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous.
They are different.
It's ridiculous.
They are different.
That's a ridiculous argument.
I don't like going to fast food anyways, but if I am going to go to fast food, if we're just grabbing lunch on the way to the golf course, then I'd rather go to an In-N-Out burger or a Fat Burger than go to a McDonald's. That sounds crazy
I
to you?
agree with that, but I don't agree that it's that the idea like, well, I'm eating something different. I agree that you're not.
It is different though. It's something I don't have here. Well, yeah,
dude. It's not that different. They're all the fucking same.
They're not all the same. That's retarded. They're not all the same. Not even close.
I can't believe that you would like go out. So you'd be like, no, pass up the burger. There's an In-N-Out burger down there.
Totally.
Since I'm in Arizona, I want to try that
every time.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay.
And you wouldn't? You'd rather go to McDonald's?
Dude, it's all the fucking same to me. I don't know. I'd
You're
go to the one that's like
people.
where I can turn right into.
You're one of those people. It's just food. Just food.
Sort of.
Ugh.
I don't agree with that. Well,
you think they're all the same?
Like you would go like In-N-Out. Oh gosh, I haven't tried their double cheeseburger, but I've had the one at
I would
Wendy's.
say I've never had In-N-Out burger, so I'm going to go there. I've had McDonald's,
and then you
before.
eat it and you go, wow, that was really different and good. Or
I do the same thing as any restaurant you've ever been to.
I'm a little more on Mike's side now that I'm starting to think about it. Like, he is right. There's a difference between a Burger King burger and a Wendy's burger. So of course there's a difference between an In-N-Out burger and a Burger
For
King.
sure.
I guess I don't know. I don't.
For sure, there's a difference.
Yeah, dude. Especially, yeah. You know what? He's right, dude. Fast food. Even when I'm looking for fast food, there's absolutely different ones where if I start wanting food and I'm driving down, like I might eventually take one if I'm just that hungry, but I definitely pull for certain ones.
Yeah. And if I'm somewhere else in the country and we're going into a sit down restaurant, I don't want to go to a chain place that we have here. Now they all serve burgers, they all serve steaks, they all serve a Caesar salad, but I don't want to go to a place that I can go to every day of the week here.
I'm starting to side more and more with Mike on this.
It's like, oh, that's something they do here. A Mexican place here is different than a Mexican place in California or Arizona.
I just think it doesn't matter at all unless you're talking about like real like restaurants that are truly native to the place. And I think that's what they're talking about in this thing. I don't think they're talking about
they're
like
talking about
chains that are in this region versus that one.
Well, I'm not a world traveler much. So I understand. You're
what
right, though.
They're talking about like people who go to England and then they're hitting McDonald's every day.
Yeah, go to China and hit Pizza Hut. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right, Jay. That's probably more what they're talking about.
Anyway, it's just my thought. Try it. Try an In-N-Out burger. You might like it, Jay.
I've been to In-N-Out burger, but I don't remember anything. I just remember it being a shitty fucking fast food burger.
Ooh, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
Double.
This is really going to get Jay fired up. I need you on this one because I don't like arguing with the fucking counselor.
Well,
It's
you
not
picked
fun.
a good soldier in me.
That's right, E. This might get you going.
That's
A California woman claims she was fired after disabling an app with a GPS function that was required to run on her company iPhone and tracked her 24 hours a day. Her name's Myrna Arias. She was working for money transfer service company Intermex. Last year, she claims her boss, John Stubitz, bragged that he knew how fast she was driving at certain times after she'd installed this app, Zora, Xora. She then objected to being monitored during work hours, claiming it was an invasion of her privacy.
Too bad.
And likened the app to
Company
a
phone.
prisoner's ankle bracelet. She uninstalled the app from her company-issued phone before she was fired from her $7,250 a month paying gig. Yeah. Her lawsuit seeks damages in excess of $500,000 and claims she was monitored during non-work hours, invasion of privacy, unfair business practices, and retaliation, among other allegations.
Shit. Okay.
Last April, along with other employees, they were asked to download the app, which has a GPS function. Stubitz confirmed she was required to keep the company-issued smartphone powered on 24 hours a day in order to answer calls from clients.
I don't believe that.
Her attorney,
she couldn't buy her own phone?
The boss confirmed that. The boss confirmed that was the rule. Arias told
I believe that.
Arias said the app let her clients' bosses see every move the employees made throughout the day. The app had a clock in-out feature, which did not stop the GPS monitoring function that remained on. They would tell her coworkers and her of their driving speed, roads taken, time spent at customer locations. Her manager made it clear that he was using the program to continuously monitor her during company as well as personal time. Court documents show that Arias told her boss that she did not have a problem with the app's GPS function operating during work hours, but said she was not okay with it monitoring her during non-work hours, telling Stubitz his actions were illegal. After researching the app and speaking with a trainer from Zora, the plaintiff and her coworkers asked whether Intermex would be monitoring their movements while off duty. Stubitz admitted that employees would be monitored while off duty. She met her quotas during her time at Intermex, and she was fired shortly after she uninstalled the app.
I might investigate an overtime claim if I were her.
Why?
Because she's working 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
She's being required to work 24 hours a day, is she?
Yeah. Well, that's what it sounds like. And I don't know. There's a lot of people that are in and I don't know if that's a salary position. It sounds like maybe she's taking a percentage of sales. But in those positions,
I'm kind of half and half on this.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's total bullshit. I wouldn't
here's the
want
thing.
someone monitoring my movements after hours.
I get it.
At all.
I think the one, even if it's okay, I don't like the idea of the boss like. I get that they're monitoring it for work, but I don't think the boss should be able to walk around. That's kind of
well. This
annoying.
Is how much of that was him acknowledging it, and how much of it was just allegations of her complaint.
That's
right?
a good point.
You said he admitted the 1 point, but was there back and forth with other things he admitted? I wasn't clear on that.
It sounds like it was one of those, a boss that's really open with his employees and is making jokes to them in the office. That's her allegation. It's not like he necessarily admitted it. Yeah. He did admit in that claim that yes, we were able to monitor them 24 hours a day.
Man, I would.
No, I don't doubt that, but she's claiming that she was required to answer clients and be in touch with clients 24 hours a day. But that's not admitted. That's just an allegation.
Maybe.
I'd be shocked if they admit that.
Really?
Yeah, right. They could never. Right. I don't know the law, but what you said seemed.
But Jay, that was common practice for you.
Yeah, right.
You were on call all
pretty
hours.
much. Yeah, I'd be up all hours of the night answering shit
Yeah.
But
I mean, you got a client base in California. It's 3 hours earlier for them. They're calling you at 7. It's 10 o'clock at night here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of that line of work.
It happens.
But I don't think, I don't know. I would feel that I invaded if my boss was going, oh, wow, you had a late night over there. I see you went by the client's house and boy, hung out till 2 a.m. No wonder you look like shit this morning. Like, I'd be like, hey, fuck you, man. What are you, seriously?
You know what I think a reasonable resolution to this is use your work phone for work shit, and then afterwards you have a second phone, and okay, pick up that work phone in the evening and see if your client's checked in. No, okay, put it back down.
Yeah,
and
totally.
But it sounds like fuck carrying it around 24/7.
But it sounds like you were supposed to keep it on you and with you 24 hours a day.
Too bad.
Yeah.
That's
well,
ridiculous.
It sounds like that's what she said was too bad, and they fired her.
Well, she stopped. She wanted to use the phone for her personal use. It's very clear. And she wanted to have it on.
Which everybody does.
And she wanted to be able to turn that off. Get your own phone, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
But if you still had to carry that around, that'd be a pain in the ass. If you're required, don't work for them. Shut up, E.
No,
that's not a bad.
I gotta be honest. If it was something that
you don't think that's an invasion of your privacy, that they're tracking your speeds on the road and telling where you've been and how long you were there, that sounds like a horrible invasion.
Real quick, I think it's insane. But you know what though? If enough people said I'm not going to work for you, then they would change it eventually. They clearly probably told them before they worked there. It's insane. I think it's nuts. But if someone told me that at an interview, I just would say, okay, I'm moving on. I'd go somewhere else.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't even start that.
If your work duties require you to carry a phone on you 24/7 and literally respond to people 24/7,
then that's your job anyway.
And if you don't like that, then get a new job.
Yeah. Well, she's a sales rep. That's probably unrealistic that you're going to be taking calls all hours of the night. That's not realistic.
Although
But
there
what
is shit overseas
realistic-
where people do that all the time, where they're up at crazy hours on conference calls with Japan and shit. So that happens.
Yeah.
But to have to carry that physically to different places where you would be tracked and your speed would be tracked, that's not realistic.
Maybe the problem is
She wants to carry her fucking phone as her personal phone. That's the bottom line.
which everybody does. I don't blame her for
That would
that.
suck
We've
to
all
have to-
done that.
Yeah, have a second phone, but that's the reality of it. You've got it from
You're
your
not paying for it,
employer.
right? You're probably
not paying for it.
yeah.
Go get your own.
Yeah, but it sounds like they were, like I said, it doesn't sound like it was something where you could power the phone off or you could just leave it at home and go about your evening. They wanted that on you at all times, and in case a client called. But I would worry. I'd like to know what this chick looked like, to be honest with you. If she's smoking hot and this boss is just a creep and is going, oh yeah, you were speeding around town last night, and that seems highly invasive to me. That they're going to know what roads you traveled on, how fast you were going, how long you're at certain appointments. Like that seems like above and beyond.
I would be willing to bet that this would be solved had she just left her phone at home and gone about her personal life, checked her phone later when she got home within reasonable time. Yeah, you don't have it on you. You're not.
Maybe you leave it in the car, but you don't bring it with you into the.
No, don't even bring it.
You
don't
can
even put it in the car. Leave it at home. Go do your personal business. Come back home before you go to bed. Check it. I guarantee that would have solved the issue. But she just wants to carry around a phone all day and not be tracked. That's the bottom line.
And you could absolutely put a forwarding number on it, where you leave it at home and put a forwarding number to it, where if you get a
Sure
call,
do.
it automatically forwards to your personal phone. But I got the impression from that article that they wanted that on you at all times in your purse.
Well,
and
that-
maybe,
that's her claim, right? And-
Yeah.
And I'm just supposing, I'll bet you anything
yeah.
that it would have been okay for her to leave it at home, do her personal shit, go to the club, come back home, check it. Okay, I've got a call, respond to that, send the email I need to send.
Not according to her allegations, Jay.
Of course not. I just do not. I find it really, really hard to believe that would require her to 24/7 have that thing strapped to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm more of a Jay on this. Sorry, dude.
I know that's what we do. We carry our phones 24/7. I've got it in my pocket. Everybody does. But the fact is, she just wanted to have her one phone and not be tracked.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be tracked either. I would find that really invasive person.
But you agree during work hours that's appropriate.
Well, I know that that's the way it's done. And I know that you don't have the rights to that phone when you lose that job. All those types of things. Or if some criminal case comes up and they want to go through your phone, all of a sudden you don't have the right to go fuck off. It's their property.
Mm-hmm.
So they own the rights to that phone and basically everything that goes on in it. I just think it crosses the line when you're talking about a boss that's referencing, basically watching your movements.
Yeah, that I don't like. I don't like the
seems
idea of it.
really out of line to me. And maybe that's my bigger problem with it, is if it's done in a professional manner where they're monitoring you to make sure that you're not just going, oh yeah, I met with 3 clients this afternoon, and really you spent 8 hours on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes up and it's like, well, no, we were able to go back and look at the GPS. And, it's not a coincidence that you came back after lunch with a nice tan on.
Well, and it's funny too, if you think of these positions that are that are exempt from overtime pay, you typically think of them as like management positions where you have a lot of discretion. And so you wouldn't think that those would be positions where a manager then has to track your every move because you're a professional.
Right.
And you're outside of that bounds of like an hourly worker who's due overtime and things like that. So that seems inconsistent here. That on the one hand, they're saying, in all likelihood, she's exempt from overtime, because my point was, hey, why not go over after an overtime pay claim? On the one hand, she's exempt from that. She's management type person, but yet we want to track her every move. That seems goofy.
Yeah. Especially if she's hitting her quotas.
Yeah.
Before we get to email, there was a couple stories that we mentioned. Probably don't have time to do them both. What are you more interested in? The cop in New York?
Oh, we should talk about that, but we don't have time to do that. That's a longer story.
The atomic wedgie?
Do the time. That's quick.
Okay.
Save the cop story for tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Remind me though, because it's a good story. 33-year-old Oklahoma man has been charged with killing his stepfather by giving him an atomic wedgie.
See, they happen, dude. They can be fatal.
It caused him to suffocate on his own underwear.
That's so brutal.
But wait a minute, like, how
What?
He couldn't get it off in time, really?
He pled guilty on Monday to first-degree manslaughter. Bradley Davis. He was charged with murder in the death of 50-year-old Denver St. Clair.
Nice. That's a great name. Denver St. Clair. Wow.
Denver St. Clair. They were in a drunken family fight at the residence. He said he grabbed St. Clair's underwear, gave him this atomic wedgie. Davis allegedly pulled the elastic waistband of St. Clair's underwear over his head and then around his neck. So he ripped it up from the back. It tore the fruit of the loom. And then over his head, and it's on his neck and choking him.
I honestly thought that the quote-unquote atomic wedgie was just a myth. I didn't think it even was possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I knew it was possible. We've seen it done before.
Look at that. On a chick.
That's kind of odd, actually.
That's Mike.
The medical examiner said the cause of death was asphyxiation and blunt force trauma after the elastic band was stretched too tightly over St. Clair's neck. They'd been drinking beer when St. Clair began speaking ill about his wife, who is Davis's mother. So he's talking shit. He's about to get divorced from this one. He filed for divorce, and he's drinking with his son-in-law or his half-son, and he's talking shit about the guy's mom. And so he gives him the atomic wedgie in retaliation.
Christ, dude.
Didn't you tell that the guy's like in distress? Wouldn't at some point you go, all right, I gotta let this guy out of this wedgie?
What kind of family or group of friends is this?
St. Clair's elastic waistband was stretched over his head and that so tight that it left ligature marks around his neck.
Oh.
Blood splatter was found in the kitchen, the living room, and on the living room ceiling.
Can you imagine that funeral?
I know.
Like everyone's like, oh my.
Or imagine the dude going to prison and so what'd you do, man?
You know,
of an atomic wedgie. Well, I got really pissed and
yeah. So what does that mean? It cut his jugular. It sounds like blood is spraying onto the ceiling.
Ugh. I don't know what
I gotta be honest, I still think the funeral sounds more crazy to me.
They-
People all
yeah,
showing
he's-
up and he's like they know why he died.
He's laying there in his
Like-
turtleneck. He's got a dickie on. He's got a dickie on in his suit.
I mean, what about the freaking the speaking parts? I mean, they're gonna talk like, oh, you know, he was a good blah blah blah.
We
It's
all
like,
rember Dennis or
and everybody's just
everyone's
picturing
just
it
gonna
the whole
be
time.
picturing the fact that this guy died from an atomic wedgie.
Him in his underwear band choking him out. Damn it.
Oh, poor Denver.
So many
St.
ways
Clair.
to go. Think about that. That's how that guy left this planet.
Yeah.
Atomic wedgie. Horrible.
Is that the first death by atomic wedgie? I'm personally
That
not
I'm
familiar
aware of.
with another
First one I've
Right.
ever heard of.
Hey, Zatford needs your trade-in. For a limited time, Zatford is conducting a special key for key event. During this event, you can exchange your current vehicle for a brand new 2015 Ford without spending a dime out of your pocket. Also, they may be able to match or lower your monthly payment. Zatford is authorized to assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or lease, no matter what you owe. You give them the keys to your current vehicle, and they will give you the keys to a brand new 2015 Ford. Plus, as an added bonus, Zatford will make your first month's payment up to $500. You can only do this at Zatford, and you can only do it during the month of May. Get there.
We should probably mention our Instagram account. We had great success yesterday. Thank you, everybody that jumped on our Instagram at the Detroit Cast. And we've got a little contest. We're giving away some of our new mugs that you can buy if you'd rather not try to win one.
All you have to do is get us to 400 followers.
Yeah.
Then we will randomly, the computer will randomly draw
5 names.
So
do you have the details on how best to do
yeah,
that?
one thing to do, make sure your account is public. It needs to be a public account in order to see your entries. You can enter each day if you want. Repost the picture. So you'll see a picture of the mug with 400 follower giveaway, I think is written across it.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag the Detroit Cast 400. Use that hashtag and encourage your friends to follow us.
Yeah. Like the picture and send it to some friends.
Yeah. So that'll get you entered.
Yeah.
So
and
please do that.
you can do multiple entries, like Jay said. You can do it every day. So
And the Amazon link.
Another matter of housekeeping. Thank you. The Amazon link. Please continue to use that. It helps us tremendously. If you do your shopping through Amazon or want to try it, if you've never done it, hit our Amazon link and shop away. It's not going to cost you any more, but it helps the show because we get a little percentage back from the sales. So
Yeah,
that's an awesome way to give to the show without really giving out of your pocket.
definitely. What do we got? For
Yes, we
email?
do have some. You like that, E?
Yes.
Porn star writes in. I'll call him porn
Boner?
star.
Boner.
I'll
Yeah.
throw him that bone.
or whatever.
Hey guys, and E, can we stop with asking Big E to speak into the mic? I think most of us agree the best part of the show are when he doesn't speak into the mic at all. While listening in my car, I can barely hear what comes out of his cum-filled mouth, and that's fine. Let's keep it that way. Also, at the 22:30 mark of 3:40, E says he's up for trying semen. Webster describes the uses for the voodoo meds made out of semen, and immediately E says, I'd be down for trying that.
I did not. Well, that's not how it went.
That's how I remember.
No.
I'm sure you would be down for that, you cum-guzzling adult child. Bye,
That's-
B-U-I,
that's not
porn
how-
star.
That's not how that went.
It's kind of how
It
I
was
remember.
how
it.
much money would you do it? I said
No.
for money. No way.
You said first. I'd be down for that.
I remember that.
I'm sure that
definitely
if that's
did.
true, it was surely in reference to I'd be down for donating semen for these girls. It was
No.
Yes,
Because we were
yes,
talking
yes.
about trying semen, and I told you to take it from the tap, and you wanted
No,
to haggle
there's
over
no
prices.
chance.
Context is everything, E.
You were saying that you'd rather eat bucket loads off a spoon than from the tap, which
Yeah.
Jay
There's
and I
no
were like,
chance
okay,
that I
whatever.
said that without money involved first. No way.
We're going to put a bucket load right on a spoon. And you're going to eat it.
For $500, I said. I only said one
And we
spoonful
can pick
too.
the animal.
I only said one
And
spoonful.
as Mike said, a human male might be good.
Only one spoonful, not doing a bucket.
Yeah, that would be outrageous.
$500.
All right. You've got to swish it around like mouthwash.
Oh God! If someone puts up the $500,
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
Squeeze it around that grill. Have it squirting through your teeth.
can you gargle with it? E? Could you gargle
If
first?
I did that, I'm gonna. You gotta realize that I'm gonna probably throw up from this. I'll put it in my. I mean, I'm not. If I tried to gargle, I would certainly throw up. If I wasn't already.
God. This might be worth rerouting some funds.
I
man.
agree.
Honest to God. People, vote in. Is it worth it?
We get to pick the spoon, right?
No.
Jay
A
does.
standard-
Fine.
I'll
Leave me
pick-
out of it.
A
I'll pick
standard
this spoon.
Jay's impartial. He's more impartial than me.
A standard.
Would you
spoon.
rather I picked it?
Standard spoon.
Grab Pee Wee Herman's cereal spoon.
No.
Eric writes in, good day, sir. Listening to 341 live tonight, and I just had to deal with some race bullshit today. My 10-year-old explained to me how during some free time in school today, he was drawing some Minecraft character. You guys
Racist.
familiar with Minecraft?
Yeah, a little bit.
God, the phenomenon of Minecraft is just
I know.
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Apparently, this character is brown, so he's coloring it in. Some black kid sees what he's doing and tells him he's racist, then gets a
Oh.
bunch of other kids to start in on him. I'm guessing most of the other kids were just joining in thinking it was funny or something. Yet I have a kid that is asking if he's racist, a fucking 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Kind
he
of
is.
wish my kid would have dropped the kid and informed him it wasn't because he was black. It was because he was an asshole.
Yeah. That would have
Ciao
been fair.
and goodbye, BUI from Eric. Thank you, Eric, for
How
writing in.
pathetic that a kid's got to deal
But
with
you know
that.
what though? That's when you talk about these stories going on. That's what's going to be the problem. Now there's
Yeah.
going to be 10-year-old kids calling this kid racist.
Yeah.
He sees it on TV. He sees his parents talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Mike and Jay, this is from Monica.
Oh,
She sounds
Monica. Monica.
She sounds hot.
Trying to think. God damn it! I can't.
Geller?
Mind. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Mike gotcha.
Fucking cry. I literally was watching Friends today, and I can't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Her brother Ross,
Yes.
friend Rachel,
Yep.
Phoebe.
friend Mrs. Chenandor Bong.
We have
Ms.
We now
Ms.
have 2 of the 5 people emailing in.
What?
Or 6. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Dear Mike and Jay, I'm a longtime listener of the show and absolutely love it. I listen to it every day on my way to work and try to stream it live on YouTube as much as I can. As I was listening to yesterday's show, it occurred to me that I am probably in the minority on this, but I love Eric, Big E's voice. She loves Big E's voice.
Wow. Yeah,
What?
he's definitely the minority.
Not only do
She
I
sounds
find it,
hotty.
Not only do I find it completely hilarious, but to me, it's also really sexy.
What?
Something about his crazy, weird Boston accent is just so irresistible.
This isn't even real. I don't even
Are you asking me out on a date?
Even the way he mispronounces pretty much every word that comes out of his mouth just adds to his overall charm.
Wow.
I don't even believe this. I don't believe it.
He's like the special kid in high school that you find yourself oddly attracted to, but don't want to admit. However, you find your mind wandering and keep repeatedly thinking about it as if he's any good in bed.
You complete me.
I don't even believe this for a second. It's
this
bullshit.
is on, dude. This is on.
In conclusion, keep up the great work. As long as Big E keeps talking and saying dumbass shit, I'll keep listening.
I don't believe it.
P.S. I cannot wait to see Eric's reaction to this email when you read it tonight. I can already picture his mouth flying open and him nervously giggling like a 13-year-old boy who has just touched his first boob.
No. That's someone just writing it. That's
Monica.
Fun.
This is Monica. Look. Well, no, I'm not going to show you her.
Yeah, you creeper. Get out of there, E.
Monica.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a punchline, but
he wants to reach for that email I just threw on the ground.
No, I don't. I don't believe it's true. So I believe someone just doing that to be an asshole.
God, this is a kid who's been bullied all his life.
Yeah. He thinks he
can't even believe in Monica, who finds his voice oddly attractive.
Oddly is the key word there, but yeah.
Huh.
E, are you going to deny that?
Yes.
Scott writes in, Counselor.
Sorry, Monica. I would have gone
leader.
for it if I was E.
Counselor, cult leader, and cocksucker. I got counselor.
I'll take cult leader.
Just wanted to touch on a few points. First, the pervert with the bike helmet. You remember this guy?
Yes.
He tried to attack like a 13-year-old, followed her home,
Oh,
went
yeah,
into the
yeah,
foyer and tried to force himself upon her.
I remember that.
In the other image, he was wearing a bike helmet.
The lime green shirt.
Yeah. Maybe he wanted to practice safe sex. Wearing said helmet could stop any head injuries occurring from rough Congress.
True.
Secondly, cards for any occasion. Okay, we talked about greeting cards or birthday cards and shit. It says cards for any occasion where certain words are underlined to express one's feeling. Have you ever seen that where people give you a card? Like, really happy birthday.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? You know, you're underlining it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one way to show that you picked up the card on the way over. Agreed.
Yeah.
Also, including the family's pet name on the card is fucking retarded. I could see you doing that, like a paw print or something.
Oh, yeah.
Izzy's already given me gifts.
I've gotten cards from Poos before.
Oh my god,
Look
I
at
could
that.
totally
I had a
see
question.
Beh doing that.
When you sign,
Beth probably has a couple cards from me from Monster and Pants.
Oh my god.
When you sign cards, are you like if you sign one to your mom, do you put your full name or
what?
Like when I give one to my sister, I put my full name. Is that weird?
Huh.
Yep.
Eric Beatty.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I wrote on a card to a 1-year-old the other day. I said, "Best wishes in all your future endeavors."
Awesome.
I mean, of which there will be many. She's
hopefully,
one.
right.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Possibly many endeavors. Hopefully.
Scott continues, thanks for my freeze worth. Keep up the good work, bitches. And Big E, the offer still stands for you to suck a fart out of my ass.
Wow. It's quite an offer.
I don't know.
I'll do it
for the right money.
Yeah, how much would that take, E?
That's got to be no more than $50.
No, it's still.
I mean, that's a throwaway.
Still be a few hundred because because there's what would happen is he'd end up saving it and get some shit. He'd like save it for a shirt or something.
How funny would that be if he just shit on his face for $50? I think it's worth it, dude. You know how many fast food meals you could buy for $50?
$200 to $300 still.
Two.
I can make up my own price scale because they don't have to be relevant to. If it's $500 for cum, it doesn't mean it has to be $50 for farts. I can make up the price scale.
That's a good point. So $200. Anyone wants to fart in his mouth directly from their ass to his mouth for $200? Any takers? Just send us an email.
Jeez.
I need some money, man.
I want to be part of
I
this.
told you, those minimum payments aren't going anywhere. So
it's a good point, E. It's a good point.
It just made me uncomfortable for some reason.
Hopefully we can line up like 5 guys in one night. You can make a quick grand.
That'd be awesome.
God.
Get a fourth of that credit card down.
I mean, after you pay the handling fee to Jay and I.
There's no handling fee.
You'll only walk with half that. But still, I mean, it's a good start for you.
No. Not giving you shit.
All the
for
work
that.
Jay's going to do to arrange that and set that all up and coordinate. I mean, that's got to
I'll
be worth
arrange it.
$500
I'll
for
talk
Jay.
to them and I'll email them.
I'm not E's pimp, man.
For $500
No.
to watch guys shit in his face.
I'm out.
All right, I'll arrange it, and I'll split my profits with Jay.
I'll do it my own way.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Marcy writes in, I'm struck by how many chicks we have listening to the show.
It's
Are we
scary.
doing a chick show?
We might be.
Are we doing a chick show?
I'm a man, Jay.
Wouldn't have
God
thought
damn it.
so, but
I'm a fucking man, Jay.
we just talked about one man farting into another man's mouth. I don't
Penis
think
balls.
it's a chick
I
show.
don't know, dude. We get so much email from chicks all the time.
Boobies and shit. There we go.
That's right.
Titties.
Tell him.
Titties. Woo.
Titties.
Gentlemen, from Marcy, caught a rare glimpse of the infamous North American unshorn beaver while passing through the fair city of Beaver Lodge in Alberta, Canada.
Ah.
Neighbors to the north. Check out the beaver, dude. Look at this. This looks to be Marcy's husband standing
Look
below,
at that poops.
just below. I don't know,
I'm gonna kind of suggest is that
30-foot beaver.
is that a real? I don't think that's a real beaver.
That's an enormous. If it is, it's prehistoric. Look at that thing,
Prehistoric, as if there was ever a fucking 30-foot beaver.
dude. Look it up. There is something like a beaver, prehistoric.
Was it really?
Oh my god. Are you kidding me?
Look at that poops.
Look at that.
It's a big piece of wood he's working on there too.
Yeah.
Very big piece of wood.
All right,
That's
it's a 20-foot beaver. I misspoke.
By the way, these animals that they do.
Wait a second,
They
dog.
build-
Did you just Google that? Because I've got the same damn picture right here, but a different guy in the picture.
Damage.
It's crazy, dude.
The people that model these, that build these animals.
Yeah.
When I was in Arizona, they had these bronze statues that were huge. I think I even sent one of them of like horses. And what are the ones with these things, Jay?
Elk.
Moose.
Moose. They had moose ones. I was doing the international moose sign with
Yeah.
my hands over my head. But I noticed on further inspection as I walked by the tail of the horse,
Mhm.
the tail was up. They sculpted the asshole of the horse.
What?
They fully sculpted the asshole of the horse.
Why would you ever do that?
I don't know. I
Huh.
might even have. I took a picture of it. I don't think I ever showed you guys. But I noticed that there were multiple animals that were sculpted, these giant things, and all of them had their assholes
That's just
intact.
some guy.
Yeah, that's some
Freaking
creeper.
some weird.
And one of them was a female with a vagine.
Nice.
Yeah. Bronze vagine.
Oh,
Not working.
I just noticed, Kadog. I did say the name of the city. That's why you pulled it up so easily.
He's Canadian, of course.
Yeah,
He's
very
with it.
familiar with Beaver Lodge in Alberta, Canada. My husband and I recently relocated from Royal Oak to Anchorage, Alaska.
awesome.
And listening to the DCast was the highlight of each day on the road. We also came across an original stuffed fukfase in Anchorage and thought of you. Keep up the great work. You guys now officially have listeners as far away as Alaska. Winky face!
I think we already had listeners overseas.
Check it out, man. They are literally in Alaska. Welcome to Alaska. They're in front of
Hey,
me.
there they are taking a picture in front of a sign. That's one of those.
I know they fell into the trap here that we discussed.
I think that's okay to do.
And she got a fukfase. Look at this. And this is how you mount it. We've seen this several times now, just above the front hands.
Yeah.
They cut just above the front hands.
I like how Jay now refers to front hands.
Yeah. It's the only way to refer to them. We all know what we're talking about.
Dude, I want to go to Alaska so bad sometime. I really hope that I can ever get the funds to be able to visit Alaska.
Has anybody ever fucked up mounting a fukfase, a giraffe, and cut it at the head? Like right at the head? That would be such a waste.
Measure twice, cut once. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
You
That's
always,
good. I'm
you
gonna
always
use that.
cut long and then reduce from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never want to cut short.
Okay.
Let's save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, we'll get out of here for a Wednesday. Anything? Do we need to mention anything? You got anything?
That thing on Friday or Sunday, I guess. Como's, 7:00.
Como's. Try the pizza. It's great. Como's. I love Como's pizza.
That's
What
it.
time you going on?
I don't know. Sometime
Okay,
after.
good.
That's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, but I can never know. I'm not a headline.
I mean, when I asked that, I mean, what time does it start?
Oh,
7
7,
o'clock?
yeah.
Okay.
Got all defensive and shit.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
stammering and shit.
What were you gonna say?
He was really mad.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Damn it! It was
He can't get Monica out of his mind.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say just a gratuitous plug for the soccer club that I'm
Yeah,
doing.
go ahead.
go to Facebook and like Alliance Academy East. I'm trying to grow the presence on Facebook and Instagram, so go like that son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. I
I've
love
been-
that logo you guys have.
Yeah, I've been working
Very
hard on
cool.
that. We got a tournament coming too in September. So to the LO, man, we're bringing the Dragon Cup to the LO. So that'll
Lake
be fun.
Orion?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So go see the Facebook page Alliance Academy East and like that shit, please.
Yes, and share.
Yeah, and don't screw with it. It's like a youth soccer club.
Youth soccer.
So honestly, just
TDC
please,
listeners, please.
Yeah,
no
just-
Fufaces. No,
Yeah.
Eric's a shithead or a cock lover.
honestly, really, that
Yeah.
would be uncool. So just please, you know what? Can we erase this part?
Yeah, you're kind of asking two things here. One,
We'll take part of it. Wait, post. We'll take care of that in post.
Yeah, no, that's out there. It's in the ether. Sorry. But yeah, no, people will be respectful.
I hope so, because it's legitimately something like
For children.
I'm trying to build and do right. So
Yeah. So don't fuck Jay over.
yeah.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all new Thursday edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.